welcome back everyone, welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the Tuna Cup, the STC number 137, your weekly dose of Tuna Cup action. I'm of course show's live VIP with him, joined by these amazing players, and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one all to our weekly tournament! Exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked. We will be getting into the bracket after this series. For now, we're jumping into game number 1. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Rainfall, we have the green Terran player, the green Terran himself. For Platoon, it is Signier. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Stanley Balls. It is a Shameless. He's so shameless. Yeah, here we go. We're here, we're back. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial PVT. Let's go. Let's go. Bienvenidos one and all. Once again, we are here. We are live on the current patch, the current iteration of the game. It's been a long weekend, of course, long week of StarCraft, going through Crank Gathers, going through Homestar Cup replays, and of course, RSL is also going on this weekend as well. Bearing in mind that we are going to be co-streaming RSL, but co-streaming the playoffs, not the group stage. True. So we'll get around to RSL eventually throughout the course of the month. Meanwhile, we do see Signier does kick things off with a proxy. We have 1 Rax back at home, we have 1 across the map, and no gases have been taken, not yet. So it looks like proxy Marine. Proxy 3 Rax. Okay, second SCV, so 2 Raxes across the map, 1 Rax back at home, Mass Marine, 1 base all in, and we may even pull the boys with this. May as well, right? Like again, it's all or nothing here. There's no holding back at this point. So we'll see if Shameless can piece together what's going on. Shameless goes in, and Shameless should recognize, of course, oh, he doesn't check the gases completely. I wonder if he noticed the undersaturation in the main base, as workers have not been made, not consistently here. So that was a bit of a tell. We can see his Zealot is on the way, so it looks like Shameless is somewhat aware of what's going on. I say that based on the rally, it looks like Shameless wants to try to contain or delay the economy, as assuming this is an economic opener. Rax expand. So a bit of a misread here from Shameless. That's why we have the rally across. Pilot is thrown down, Marines are amassing for Signier, and again we'll see how this all comes together. How many Marines will we have, and again, do the boys get involved? Bearing in mind as well that welcome to Rainfall. Rainfall is one of the smallest maps of the map pool, a very short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored, and this does mean that if we were to go for an all-in and pull the boys, it does hit faster and harder on this map than any other map out there. I still need to get around to whipping out a ruler and measuring and comparing Rorschach to Rainfall. I still need to get around to that side, and also comparing it to like Fear and Faith, like close spawns, and Old Sun Temple close spawns as well. I think technically close spawns and Old Sun Temple might be the smallest map out there. Like, I have to double check. Meanwhile, here we go. The boys are being pulled. Here come the boys. It's going to be how many? It's going to be 14. Sorry, 13. 13 SCVs. 1 boy is left behind to mine. Yeah, the 1 boy left behind. Meanwhile, Shameless, he's now poking out across the map. He expands. Shameless has no idea what's going on. He has no idea. Ooh, and now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. Now he's aware. He's adapting. He's shading back home. He's adapting back home. Oh my god. Trying to make his way back. Meanwhile, the Marines, they move in, and there is 1 adept to defend. Batteries, they are late. Late batteries in the main. We got to keep going. We got to keep pushing. Army does move in. Marines, they step forward. Ooh, they almost get the adept. Battery's not done. He gets 1. Yeah, 1 adept goes down, and that 1 adept is so close to fire. No, it goes down. Miscontrol there by Shameless. Does go down. Went out to 1 sentry, and Signier, he's doing it. He's doing it. He busts into the main base. 16 probe kills. There's 2 batteries, but only 1 sentry remains. And can we focus on that sentry? Oh my god, the boys are being pulled. There's the NG overcharge. The batteries are putting in a lot of work here, but it should not be enough. As the Marines, they will overwhelm. A bit of a misclick there on some of the buildings. That was a misclick. Sentry. Ooh, sentry goes down. Yeah, sentry goes down. 3 pros remaining. The 1 stalker will clean everything up, but alas, Shameless, he has to save the boys. No, and Shameless holds. Wow, Shameless, he does hold on. 1 stalker, it's too good. 1 stalker. If we had ended the game and done all this damage a little bit sooner, and maybe depowered the gateway, maybe then we win. But alas, Shameless will shut this down. The 1 stalker is just too good. 3 pros mining compared to the 1 SCV and the 1 mule across the map. We have 2 Nexi. We have better saturation. We have the 1 stalker as well. Shameless holds, defends, and Shameless, he has quadrupled the economy. of Signir. I mean, I guess not that much because of the mule. The mule does help a little bit, but again, Shameless is in a much stronger position. Moves out. Oh my god, there's still 4 Marines, but yeah, Marines, they can just be kited to death. Their cannon should be kited down. The Marines should not be able to kill this Stalker. Shouldn't quite happen. But it was so close. Signir, he was so close, Pappy. Aye. Oh, free damage. Oh my god. No start stepping. Yeah, late reaction. Late reaction by Signir. There could have been more whole damage dealt. Could have been more. Now up to 2 Stalkers. Shamelessly does rotate around to come in from behind. At the same time, Signir moves in. Where did he go? Where did he go, Pappy? Where did he go? Signir does waddle into the mineral lines, going for more economic damage. He wants the pros, but again, remember this. Oh, he drops inside the main. He drops in the main base. Very smart to get the pylon. Now he can just cancel and walk in. Wait, can he fit? He should be able to. Oh, force to recall. Looks like he can't. Yeah, force to recall against some very cheeky moves going on. Very cheeky, but the reality is we have 2 batteries. That's the reality. There are 2 batteries, so clutch recall. We have more Marines on the way. Again, Signir muling his heart out, switching into gas production, into gas mining, into eventually, I would imagine, factory play to Cyclone. But again, with that, the aggression is ending. As I don't believe the Nexus dies here. It's getting low, that's true, but I will say the same about the racks. And once it goes down, Stalkers, they can move to low ground as well. You can see how quickly Shameless is replaced and replenish his economy. 14 probes already up and running for Shameless. 14 workers. Signir has to get the hell out of here, racing back home. And behind this, we are going not to factory, we're going to Marauder. I mean, they're going to come online faster, of course, and waiting for a factory to be built and add-on swap into Cyclone. Marauder is going to be a must against Stalkers this early on in this kind of game state. But the issue here is that, again, there's no shot that we macro out of this. Like, it's not going to happen. I feel like the most we're going to see here is a second all-in. We're just going to see a second one-base all-in. But now we're down 2 Raxes. Oof. Like, the best we can hope for here is we build up like 3-4 Marauders, we catch like 1 or 2 Stalkers in the center of the map, and then we pull the boys. So we pull the boys, and these Marines come into play as well. It's looking bleak here for Signir. Looking bleak. Had so much potential early on, so much. Like, everything was going right, but again, took a little bit too long to get into the main base, took a little bit too long to break through everything, and again, did not kill the pylon, was unable to stop that Stalker. That one Stalker, man. The MVP Stalker. But this was a crazy game, though. It was. So here comes the bunker. But I don't know why we're getting a bunker. What's going on? Okay, we got a proxy, a factory in the face of Shameless. Which means we can't add on stuff for a tech lab, so it's going to be a factory into tech lab into tank, and we're going to like slow siege, I guess. I guess. Oh, nice force fields. Yeah, locks in some of the army. 1 Marine goes down, 2 Marines go down. Every Marine counts. Ooh, catching a Marauder as well. Nah, that's too much. It's too many losses. It's just too much. Some brutal force fields. Oof. So we catch another Marauder. Down to 2. Down to 2, Pappy. Share my Pappy, share my. See the indie. Oh no. And again, at this point, Signir, he's just kind of being whittled away at. We just see Stalkers, they bypass the main army, they're pushing towards the main base, there's nothing to defend, there's going to be one Marauder if that. Meanwhile, across the map, we have plenty to defend back at home for Shameless. He can defend and he can attack again, like when the game did, when earlier we saw Signia went down to 1 SCV against 4 probes against 2 Nexi, again, like it was on the wall here that Shameless was just outscaled. He was just outscaled. Okay, so the army, tank goes down, Marauders as well. And GG gets called. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shameless will take lead in the series, but honestly, that was a clutch game. That was insane. Like the stars were aligning. Shameless, he didn't realize what he had scouted, didn't realize what was going on. He was going for his own expansion. He was building up. He even got caught out as well with the Adepts. The Adepts went down real fast and real quick. Again, it was a very, very clutch game there, but in the end, Shameless barely held on with 4 probes and 1 Stalker. But again, the strength of the Stalker, Pappy, as he shut down all the aggression. GG. I mean, the batteries helped as well, of course. Did help. But GG well played. With that, Shameless takes a 1-0 lead in the series, but I'm ready to see what the hell Signia has in store for us for game 2, because game 1 was crazy. that was a wild game. I'm ready for game 2. Let's go. Has a lot to live up to. A lot to live up to. So we're jumping into Washout. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Washouts, we have the green Terran player. We have the green Terran himself representing Platoon. It is Signia. Signia. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Stownibles. It is Shameless. Stownibles. Let's go. Let us go. As we're getting into game number 2 here, we have no, I was gonna say we have a series. I mean, again, game 1 was crazy. Game 1 was wild. It was it was insanely close. But I feel like at this point, Signia has kind of revealed his hand a little bit here. If the plan is to go for a 1 base all in, well, if that's the plan for the course of the entire series, and game 1 has that surprise factor, game 2 onwards will have less of a surprise factor. Are we going for the same build? So back at home we have our racks, and we are going for the proxy across the map, sending out 1 SCV so far. Remember last game there were 2 SCVs for a proxy, 2 racks for 3 racks in total. There's that racks. But I see gas. Okay, so gases are now being taken, and there's no second SCV. So this is looking more like a proxy Marauder build. I'm thinking Marauder, maybe even proxy Reaper. I feel like the first racks is finishing too soon for that though. Yeah. So it looks like Marauder play. Or maybe something else that's even more crazy. Alright, so Insignia. As we have gas mining up, marine production back at home, as it was too late to get into any kind of Reaper play. And this should lead into a tech lab. We're imagining tech lab into Marauder. Then you build up the Marauders, you build up the Marines, and you pull the boys 1 base all in. But again, like Shameless, he's now on notice. Shameless, he pokes in, he sees 1 gas taken, which is already a different build, of course, and we can see Shameless, he's scouting. Yeah, he's scouting the 3rd location. Ooh, and he's checking the northern location as well. It is going to be proxy Marauder, it is tech lab across the map, and a tech lab back at home as well. Oh, Shameless reroutes. Oh, Shameless, he reroutes the probe. He was about to scout, by the way. He was about to scout, about to confirm. He decides to turn back around and actually scout across the map instead. And that means that he will see nothing. He sees 1 Marine. Okay. Does see Marine. Outside of that, though, is playing blind. Is in the dark. Is unaware. Whilst being unaware, we are just building on Marauders. Shameless playing standard relatively. This time he's getting a safety battery, so safety blind battery. Probe. Trying to move in. Sees Marauder. No, it is. Yeah, sees Marauder. Massive tell. Back at home, should be getting ready. Sentry's on the way. 2nd battery as well, so a much stronger setup and a much stronger reaction and a bigger defense here from Shameless. It's going to be much more difficult to pull off all in. As we're going proxy factory. Okay. Okay. We're going for the factory as well. We're doubling down. We're doubling down. He's crazy. Okay. 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 As I have more marauders building up. Are we gonna, I mean, the problem is that if this was next to it, then I could see like an add-on summon, a tank, or add-on summon, a cyclone. Are we gonna go medevac? Or like Viking and just land the Viking? What's the plan here? No shot, we're waiting for a tech lab. No shot. Take too long. We're waiting for the tech lab. Okay, we're just gonna wait. Army does reveal itself. Bunker's on the way. Does see the wall of batteries. And nice burst damage. She gets one. Ooh, nice pick up. Shameless late to react, late to respond, losing one stalker already. Meanwhile, the bunker is going to be delayed. Ah, but there's another SCV. Another SCV moves in. Marauders are overextending. Bunker's almost done. We'll lose another marauder there, and another. Tries to cut away. Ooh, just barely dive into the bunker. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Shout out to these batteries. The batteries are the MVPs. They keep everything alive. They focus on the SCV, focus on the bunker, and with that, Signier's position is being broken. The tank is not going to come into play. Boys being pulled, chasing down the marauders. We chase them down, Bappy. Oof. Chase them down. Coming from behind, getting us over the tank. There we go. Tank goes down. Again, Immortal has arrived. I mean, there's nothing. Again, it was a cheeky build, but this time Shameless, he was so prepared for it. He didn't scout the proxy itself, but because he had seen signs of aggression, because game one there was a one-base all-in, we just saw hyper safe play. Just very, very safe defensive play, relatively blind as well. Nice juggling, takes down the tank, shuts down the proxy, warping in the face here of Signier. And GG, and Shameless, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Shameless, he will claim the series. He'll advance on, but again, shout out to Signier, especially in game one. Like, game one was like the closest game of the series, and it was very close. Shameless went down to 4 perps. he went down to 4 workers. Insanely close. Crazy game one. Here in game two, as we mentioned, Shameless, he was put on notice. He was put on notice after game one, so as a result, he was a lot more diligent and a lot more safe when it came to his play, and was able to shut it down. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are going to head on over here to the bracket. Let's go. Let's catch up with the bracket. Let's see where we are, where we're headed, and what is going on. Let's go. From the top. From the top here, we do have our bracket. herO. herO is waiting for the winner of Dave Latos versus Antuddy. 2 more amateur players facing off in the first round. herO waiting for the winner of the series. Scrolling down, we have Homeowner. Homeowner is up against Perceive in the round of 16. We have Percival is up against Maxmore. We have Skillus up against Ruxus. Meanwhile, ByuN takes on Scorpion 2-0. In his own series. Oh, we just got another update. Percival takes down Maxmore 2-0 as well. We have Young Yakov versus Camo, and we have SHIN and gets a walkover win over Zoblar. So we have a walkover win, which means we already have our next series. We're heading on over to the Americas server, as up next on the channel is going to be SHIN versus Shameless in a ZVP. Let's go. Let us go. I'll be transparent. This is the reason why we dove on this series. I was tempted by a couple different matchups. As you can see, we have potential SHIN versus Shameless in the bottom half. We have potential ByuN versus Young Yakov, and we have potential Percival versus Skillus. And it was a toss-up for me between Percival versus Skillus and SHIN versus Shameless. Those are the 2 that caught my attention the most. ByuN versus Young Yakov, we cast it every week. For those who don't know, every week they play. And they have some fun games, but I did want to mix it up a little bit and not show ByuN versus Young Yakov like 4 weeks in a row like we did. So I wanted to branch out a little bit here. So again, it was a toss-up between Percival versus Skillus or SHIN versus Shameless, and we settled on the potential SHIN versus Shameless matchup. And we have it ready for you. We have it ready for you. Here we go. So we'll need a moment here to catch up on the brackets. Oh, sorry, to set up our match. Un momento. We're setting up. As videos are underway. Just messaging our players, letting them know. Likewise, again, we have other matches currently underway as well. Bearing in mind that for this tournament, both semifinals will be casted, so once one is ready, it'll be held until we can cover it, and then we'll be going into one semis and then the other semifinals. Whichever is available first, we'll jump into. So once one is available, we will be jumping into it. Bear that in mind. So if you're a fan of some of the players in the upper portion of the brackets, don't worry, don't fret. We'll be there as well. We'll eventually catch up with some of them, at least in the semifinals, maybe in the quarterfinals, if these lower matches are a little bit faster. Just catching this out. Game was so fun. I went to Planetary Rush because I don't have a chance to. Hey, you almost took a game in game one. Just saying. Almost took game one. Este signo in the chat. Casito, baby, casito. For now, though, we're going to be going on a break. Going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a next series. We'll have a next matchup. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. lads, welcome back everyone, welcome back to the quarterfinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. We just wrapped up the round 16, and now we're here with the round of 8. Shameless, he just took down Signier 2-0, and now we're going to be following Shameless into the quarterfinals. It's going to be a ZVP. Let's jump on in. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Washouts, we have the blue Zerg player, himself, representing his new team on side. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player representing Stanley Balls. It is Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. We're here, we're back, we're live. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time for the Gamba. It's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you can predict on who you think will claim the series and who you think will advance on. Coming into this, of course, SHIN is going to be favored, but Shameless has been, of course, improving heavily over the past 2 years, has been growing in skill, and we have seen him take it to some of these top players before. Of course, we are on the new patch, and that does, of course, impact and influence things as well. I'm curious to see how Shameless will be approaching said patch. We have been seeing a lot of players kind of experiment. We saw a lot of experimentation during Homestory Cup, I will say, and likewise, I will say that the Korean scene has been embracing a lot of Sky Toss against Zerg, a lot of mass Void Ray, a lot of Mothership rushes, things of that nature. Curious to see how Shameless will approach it. Will he go for a Twilight Council based all-in, or rush into Sky Toss, or do something different? We're here to find out. Meanwhile, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to AO gracias, AOD. Gracias, baby, gracias. Thank you so much for subscribing with a tier 1 sub. Thank you, baby, thank you. Do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting of the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Bienvenidos. As again, we are here in our first series. Coming into this, welcome to Washouts. Washout is an interesting map in the map pool. This map, of course, does feature some hybrid bases. We have our hybrid bases here on the south and north side of the map. These are expansions that do provide some excess resources, excess minerals, specifically, but can also be abused by these cooling towers. I'll be honest though, we don't often get to experience these bases. This is for like mid to late game play, and often the game does end around the mid game on Washouts. So you've yet to really experience these bases be too impactful, or the cooling towers be too impactful either. Bienvenidos. So we are greeting each other, checking each other's bases. The spray, papi, the spray. As it is Hatchgas pool again, SHIN was forced to take the unnatural natural. Otherwise, Shameless is going to be opening up at Zealot first. I assumed it was the Hatchgas pool here, but Shameless just playing a little bit safe, going for his earlier Zealot just to make sure he is secure before building up into our tech of choice. Based on our pylon placement, it looks like a Stargate opener. Usually, if you go for a Twilight Council or a Robo or some kind of hidden tech, you want to throw in the pylon further behind your main base mineral line. To have it as exposed as it is typically means Stargate. There it is, Stargate, it's on the way. Now with this, we can open up Void Ray or Oracle. I was alluding to Sky Toss earlier and alluding to Void Ray based openers and Void Ray based play. So that is something that we've been seeing a lot of as of late. So we'll see if Shameless does embrace that newer mass Void Ray style, or if we go back into Oracle, into a third, into something more pre-patch. That's all the links. Jesus. As herO does poke in, SHIN, he will confirm the Stargate opener. And we do have a massive amount of lings on the way, by the way, a surprising amount. Yeah, SHIN making 10 extra lings, he's moving out across the map, but link speed is almost done, and so far the wall is open. But it's going to close up. Did I speak to... Oh god, the wall is kind of closed, but no, not really. The Zealot, no, herO! Yeah, the wall is not a wall. The wall is not a wall, the opening is open. Zealot's out of position, pylon goes down, depowers everything, delaying warp gates, delaying any kind of warp ins. Zerglings get best into the mineral line. It's too much, it's just getting out of hand here. The Oracle will help defend. But this is critical damage as we dive into the middle. Oh, no, it's around! The Stalker! Oh my god, Stalker does pull away. The Oracle's still getting some free damage. Lings, they're going for the pylon, they're going for the production. And what do we find? Do we still kill the base? Wow, the natural. Yeah, the natural's gonna go down. SHIN is just link flooding. He's just link footing, and again, unfortunately, the Zealot was just out of position. There was a Zealot, remember, but it was just out of position. The door was wide open. The wall was not a wall, Bappy. It was not. Stalker goes down. Down goes the Gateway, the Cyber Core, the Nexus, the everything. And before we could even get into the game, GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take game number 1. GG. AOD. Oh, there you go. GG, well played. And with that, congratulations here to SHIN. Does take the first game. Again, just going for a bit of a random link flood here, and Seamus had the tools to defend, but he was out of position. Seamus was out of position. The Zealot was too far to the right, was not actually plugging up that hole, that door, and as a result, links just flood into the bases. GG, well played. Sorry, I was even caught off guard by just the amount of damage that was being done. Like, I was like, oh no. GG, well played. With that, SHIN, he will take a lead in this series. A little bit of a blunder here from Shameless, and hopefully we can tighten up our early game and tighten up our defense and make it into the mid game. Hopefully we can get there. As we are loading the game, número 2. Okay, AOD. Meanwhile, we do have some results and some updates, and we'll be getting into that after this series, of course, but the rest of the bracket is also progressing, is underway. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing onside. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Stalnibles. It is Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. And again, unfortunately, we just didn't really get to sink our teeth into the game number 1. It just came down to a link flood. Shameless out of position. The wall was wide open, and we just flooded on in. That was game. That was game then and there. So again, we're expecting Shameless to be a little bit more on top of that early game defense and of that SimCity. We're assuming that he's going to be able to tighten that up and delve into that mid game. Talking about game number 1, it was an Oracle opener, not a Void Ray, so it was Stargate into Oracle. We didn't get to see what else was planned, unfortunately, but we saw that was at least the opener of choice. We'll see if Shameless does divert back into that to actually get into his build and get into what he wanted to show us in game 1. We'll see. We shall see. Otherwise, we do once again force the unnatural natural. SHIN forced to expand at the 3rd location. Shameless will confirm. Just disrupting the early game here from SHIN. Just had small disruption. Now we can settle in. I'm sorry. That's how sad. We'll lock in, We'll lock in. We're going to be settling on in from here. Again, just a hatchery has pool. Nothing crazy out of SHIN. Probe does confirm as well that there's no early pool timing. There's no shenanigans going on. Not yet, at least. Hopefully, I mean, especially on this map, there's a bit of a difference here. There's a Zelnaga tower in the center. So if there were to be a massive flood across the map, there's a higher chance that Shameless will be fighting for control of the Zelnaga tower, and we'll see it coming ahead of time. Higher chance. And again, I'm sure, especially after game 1, Shameless is going to be a little more attentive at scouting and checking what's going on and keeping eyes on SHIN. Period. There's that Earthly Zealots. Does make the Earthly Zealots. Once again, pile on further out, so we're expecting another Stargate opener. Link speed is on the way. SHIN pulls out of gas. So far, so good. Pulling out. From here, SHIN can start to drone, saturate. Shameless trying to see if there's any kind of excess Ling production this early on, but this early on that shouldn't be. Even last game. And there it is, Stargate. So Stargate open and Shameless. At the same time, SHIN does slip in, slips in with those 2 Zerglings, and will actually confirm the tech of choice, confirms the Stargate. So nice scouting here from SHIN. Again, he does confirm. And was able to catch a probe. Just the one so far, but again, so far, nice scouting. And ideally wants to confirm whether it's going to be a Void Ray or an Oracle. I guess technically even a Phoenix, but that's quite rare. Just keeping tabs on Shameless. We do have a handful of links on the way, but this should just be for Adept Defense. There's no crazy link surge this time. SHIN is droning, saturating, focusing on that economy. It is going to be the Oracle first here out of Shameless, not Void Ray. Go for the Oracle. From here we can just calm down. We can settle in. Third base not being taken. And this is again looking very pre-patch. Again, going Cybercore, so gate expanded to Cybercore to Stargate, Oracle to a third base. Into Forge and Twilight Council to +1 and Blink. Like, are we just gonna okay? Okay. We're heading in that direction. We'll see if that's the case. Meanwhile, speaking of last patch, oh, okay, there we go. Early Twilight Council, a much earlier Twilight Council here by Shameless. This does give access to potentially even early Glaives and going to an earlier Blink all-in as well. Eyes are on our tech of choice. Meanwhile, SHIN going early Eva Chamber into +1 melee. Standard. Ling speed, sorry, +1 melee, Ling into Ling Hydra. Should be the tech of choice. Usually early Eva Chamber screens +1 melee, and that also means that you're going to be skipping your Roach Warren and your Bailey Nest. Usually, that is the case. See if that does unfold. 3 more gates being thrown down back at home. That's going to be a 4-gate setup, sorry, a 5-gate setup in total. And it is going to be Blink. So early Blink here from Shameless. Early Blink, no Forge, no +1. It will allow for earlier aggression, and this may even lead into a 3-base all-in. Something that we have seen as of late is, oh Jesus, is 3-base 8-gate all-ins at a Protoss be even stronger. Oh, as we do have a bit of a pause.
Game paused.
Do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. But talking about the build itself, going for an 8-gate all-in is stronger here. I mean, stronger in a sense because of the proxy pylon. Proxy pylons, getting pylons and reinforcements up and running is so much faster because of the fast warp ins, because you no longer need a gateway across the map. This does hit very hard, and I'm not leaving that, and so far I'm leaving the door open for the potential of that. We still need extra gateways to confirm whether or not it's going to be an all-in. If Shameless takes gases at the third base, that would be a sign that we're taking up further, and we're working towards Storm and getting to the mid game. Right now, eyes are open for extra gateways. So far, it is 5. We're waiting for like up to 7, up to 8 gates. So we'll see. We'll see how aggressive and how committed Shameless is going to be with this. But hopefully everything's okay with the mice, with the peripherals. Hopefully. Otherwise, again, I hope you've been enjoying yourselves. I will say that, again, this can work a little bit better here just because SHIN is cutting corners, right? He's cutting corners, he's skipping roaches, he's going straight, which should be into Ling Hydra. Technically, we have seen some builds as of late go straight Ling, like Muta. Like, we have seen some greedier builds do that. Typically, you see Muta play alongside roaches, but we have seen some players cut some corners and try to go straight into Muta play instead. It is quite risky to do so, but again, SHIN, he's up in the series, so he might feel like he could get away by taking that risk. Could feel like he could get away with it. Otherwise, we're just hoping that everything's okay. And look after your mice, Pappy. True. Look after them. I have worn down mice to the point where, like, I don't know, they're double clicking or double clicking is usually what happens for me. It's or sometimes the sensors like they die out and they become like less responsive. So like you can move your mouse and like the cursor just kind of like sometimes stagnates, sometimes moves. Like, can be frustrating. So hopefully everything's okay. As we're getting back into our game. Let's go. Let's go. There it is. Oh, two more gates. So if you remember, what was our goal? We were waiting to see if extra gateways were thrown down. We have 2 more gateways. That's going to be a 7-gate all-in. Now an 8-gate all-in. So 3 base 8-gate all-in out of Shameless. It's all or nothing. One way or another, the game is about to end. And Shameless will have to, as he moves out across the map, set up those proxy pylons to reinforce. And again, they finish up so much faster. And they come online that much harder or faster as well. The all-in does hit harder. Shin, he's going Ling Bane, so he's going for the Baliness response. I mean, he doesn't know what's going on. He's going to Ling Bane just to be safe. This does keep you safe against Glaive Adepts, for example, or against Charge, but against Mass Wing Stalker, this is less effective. So it's all lining up, and we'll see if Shameless can pull this off. Can he do it, Babby? Can he do it? There's that Hydrogen on the way. Again, as Hydras amass up, then Shin will outscale Shameless. So the longer this goes on, the better it is for Shin. Better economy, eventually a better army as well. So Shameless is on a timer. Shameless is on a timer. Ooh, Overseer, what did we see? Checking the vision here, Shin, he is checking gases. So he didn't see all the gateways, but oh no, he checks and he confirms no gas. He confirms no gas here on the right hand side. Links are amassing. We do have our Hydra upgrades now on the way. And Shin is going to cut workers at 70. He's cutting workers at the same time. Does go for a big counterattack. Here comes Shameless. Here comes the all-in. And do we have a proxy pylon? No, pylon is setting up, actually. Yeah, it looks like there's one. There we go. Probe is coming. Base is going down. Shin ready for the backstab. And that 5th base is going to be denied. We're pushing deep onto creep. Things are engaging. So finally 2 Hydras. Only 2 Hydras. Bailing's like, ooh, bust into the mineral line. A battery goes down. 4 probe kills. And Shin, he does pop off. Yeah, he pops off. Another Bailing going to be waddling in as well. That mineral line is going to go down. At the same time, though, Shin is running out of links back at home. The Hydras are exposed. The Hydras are going down. The Queens as well. Remember, because Shin went for the counterattack, that meant that back at home, he had less buffer. He had less support, and the all-in is snowballing out of control. Shameless, he's doing it. The boys are being pulled. Desperation out of Shin. But the all-in does hit. It does snowball out of control. Breaks through the main army. The boys are helping. We do have 4 Hydras now popping out. Getting up to 5 Hydras. 6. Yeah, 6 Hydras are out. But again, there's no support for them. There's some Zerglings, but not that many. Shameless, he's close. Yeah, he's so close to breaking through. Does kite back. Nice blinks. Nice control. As we're now getting up to 6 Hydras. But it should not be enough. Yeah, it should not be enough. Shameless has done it. Dives on the main army. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. Again, the stars were aligning. As we mentioned, a Ling Bane defense is much more difficult to pull off with compared to a Ling Roach defense. There was no Roach Warren. Instead, Shin was cutting some corners. But it wasn't just that. That counterattack from Shin, yes, he killed some probes. But as we were trying to mention, this meant that there was less at home to buffer and support the Hydras and support the Queens. And because of that, the backbone of the army crumbled real fast for Shin. Crumbled very quickly. If we have those links back at home, it isn't about winning the fight, it's about buying time to accumulate a larger force of Hydras, and then you get out of hand. Once you can build up and sustain like up to 6, 7, up to 10 Hydras, then you have a much stronger backbone. You have Lings funneling in or trickling in as you're reinforcing with Zerglings, and then you have your core army that builds up over time, and then you have that defense, and then you hold, then you snowball out of control. But again, there was no buffer for those Hydras or for the Queens, and with that, GG. With that, GG well played. With that, GG well played. We are getting into our next game. We're going to be getting into Rainfall, the ace match. Let's go. Now, what kind of Rainfall? Rainfall is the smallest map of the map pool, or one of the smallest maps. A very small map, short rush distance by ground. All ins are favored on this map. And do you know what Seamus just asked? He was like, Pappy, don't 8-pull me. don't do it. And then Shin did the crying face emoji. He's droning, to be fair, he's droning. As in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg being forced into a tied series. Can he bring it back? For onside, it is Shin. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player representing Stallion Bulls. It is Shameless. Let's go. let us go. And again, SHIN, he is straight up one of the best Zerg players in the world. He's, what, the best Zerg in Korea, if not top 2. But does drop a map here to his opponent, and can Shameless pull off the upset? Can he keep this going and claim the 2-1? Oh, the pressure's on. The pressure is now on SHIN suddenly. But again, we're loading into a smaller map. Aggression's going to be more favorite here, and we'll see who's going to be the aggressor. Now, because this map is so small and because aggression is expected, there's a very high chance that SHIN plays roaches. There's a very, very high chance that this time, instead of going for the fast Evo Chamber and the fast pulse on melee, instead he goes for the Roach Warren into a Roach heavy mid-game instead, which is typically very safe. It's typically much, much safer. The downside, of course, is that it does mean that your mid-game is a little bit shakier, depending on what you're working towards. If you want to go into Hydra Tech, then you have to kind of like stumble your way there, because you're spending gas on Roaches, and you're going to have less gas for Hydra Tech, for example. But we'll see. We'll see how SHIN will approach it. The other option, of course, is Muta play. I don't know if I like Mutas on Rainfall. It does feel quite risky, but if we do open Roach, then Muta play is also going to be an option. We'll see. We shall see. For now, hatch, gas, pool. Standard opener here from SHIN. Like where Shameless back at home, just going for his own gate expand into Cybercore. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. For the most part, we're just waiting for a tech of choice on the side of Shameless, waiting for the tech of choice, whether it's going to be Stargate or Twilight Council. The pylon is a little bit closer to the chest here, but I still feel like it's going to be a Stargate-based opener, based on its positioning. We'll see. And again, we do not expect a standard game out of Shameless. No shot. I mean, what is standard now, right? Mass Void Ray? True, that's... So we have our tech of choice. It is going to be the Stargate. So once again, the Stargate opener. We're expecting Oracles, but again, we'll keep an eye open for a Void Ray based opener instead. Eyes are out for that. Shameless does pull away. And SHIN is going for a much faster third this time. Okay. Yeah, much faster third. This time SHIN was also able to take the natural. He was forced to expand elsewhere, so a much more comfortable early game from SHIN as well. Much more comfortable. Link speed is on the way, pulls out of gas. Just slowly building up. Meanwhile, the Stargate is complete, and Shameless, it is going to be Oracle once again. So we're opening Oracle. From here, Shameless should take a third base, and then from that third, then we're looking for the tech timing. Remember, last game we saw the very fast Twilight Council, which tipped us off. There was going to be some aggressive build, aggressive tech. We were floating the idea of a Blink Stalker all-in or Glaive Adepts. Went for the Stalker all-in. Oh, okay. That's different. Stargate opener into a Robo before the third base into a Twilight Council. Now, if this was pre-patch, I would assume this was for an Archon drop. I would assume this was Robo Twilight Council into War Prism, into Templar Archives, into High Templar, into an Archon drop across the map. But from my understanding, this build, trying to go Archon drop, is much weaker in the current iteration of the game. Extra gateway is being thrown down, so this is going to be more committed. Is it delayed Archon drop? No shot. Or we're just going to like charge and just go for like a 2-base charge all in, which feels very weird. Like 2-base all ins feel odd to begin with. Yeah, look at that prison first. Where's the Templar Archives? Show us the archives. I'm going Templar Archives into... Yep, there it is. Templar Archives. It is an Archon drop. Okay, so it is going to be a delayed Archon drop out of Shameless. Now, the reason why we phrase this as delayed is because this isn't a Twilight Council opener, right? You can open Twilight Council into a Dark Shrine, into faster DTs and faster Archons. This is later, after the Stargate. So yeah, this is a build that I haven't seen this patch. This was a common variation that we would see in the previous patch. From my understanding, Protoss players were abandoning this kind of build just because it takes so much more to afford all the warp gates and to afford the warp ins, especially because this is not an all-in. This is just designed to hunt down overlords and to kill some drones, but oh god no, the Cybercore. No shot. The Cybercore goes down. No, thankfully the High Templar did warp in. Archons are coming. Remember, it's an Archon drop, but Lings, they do bust into the main base. Probes going to be going down. This is getting out of hand already. 5 probes. Oh my god, this is too much. 6 probes going down. The Archon drop is coming, but these Archons, they have so much work to do. Killing Overlords is not good enough anymore. Now we have to kill some drones. We got to go for the mineral line. Prism moves in. Shin is in position. Prism taking a lot of hits. So far. Oh! Prism is zoned away. Prism does take some hull damage, but does back off. Kills one queen, and I think one drone. No, not even. Just one queen. One queen going down. And you said I see... Oof, I see a German taxi. So Overlord speed is on the way. That'll be for Dropper Lords. The roaches are amassing. Roach speed is coming as well, and we'll be able to push with the queens and the roaches. So it is going to be an all-in from Shin. His cutting works at 60, so it's going to be a 2.5 base all-in, under 3 base saturation. We just commit with everything. Remember, how did we begin this game? We spoke about how Rainfall favors aggression, and Shin is going to be the aggressor. He's going all-in. Meanwhile, Shameless was trying to play macro. Remember, Archon drop is to try to gain map control and to slowly build up back at home, but the army's coming. The army's coming. As here comes a rally. The creep highway has been set up. Looks like, my apologies, we're not going for the drop. We're not going for the German taxi. We're just going for the creep highway. True. We're setting up the highway. The map is small enough that the queens are already here. The queens are already here. They're already across the map. Yeah, force fields are knocked down. We get some decent juggling, but there's just barely anything here. There's just no army. There's 2 Archons, 1 Immortal, there's a cannon. There's just nothing here. Shin sort of steps in, breaks through the main army, gets into the mineral line. The juggling though. But GG, yeah, GG gets called. There's no defending against this. And Shin, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on into the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shin, he will claim the series. Again, this build that Shameless went for is very out of meta nowadays, just because it's so expensive. Like, it hits very, very late, but also you have to warp in all the warp gates as well. So there's also that added cost that wasn't quite there earlier. So it's very, very committed, and especially going for a delayed Archon drop build on Rainfall, you're asking to be all-ins, right? Because this build, it means that your ground army is weaker. It's delayed. Like, you don't really have that much. You're so reliant on these Archons to buy time and keep your opponent busy. We saw that Shin didn't give them any mind. Like, he zoned them away and then he just went for the all-in. The Archon drop was happening at the same time and Shin just ignored it. He just went across the map. The map is small enough where you can afford to do that. GG. GG well played. Shin didn't even need the German taxi. Didn't even need the taxis. He just walked. the queens, they just walked across. It was fine. GG well played. With that, congratulations here as Shin does claim the series, and let's catch up on the bracket itself. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go! Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look back yourselves. Let's head on over here as we do have herO. Okay, so first things first, Aunt Tutty. Aunt Tutty does take down Dave Litos 2-0, and we have herO versus Aunt Tutty in the upper round of 16. So again, the upper portion of the bracket is a little bit more delayed. Winner of that series goes up against Homono. Homono takes down Perceive 2-1. Did go all the way to the ace match there, but again, we have some delayed matches. And we have Percival. Percival takes down Skillus 2-0. Big win there for Percival. GG, well played. My condolences to Nikita, as Nikita does bow out in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, we have Shin. Shin takes down Shameless 2-1. Went to the ace match. Shin is waiting for the winner of ByuN and Young Yakov. They're currently mid-series. Mid-series. Now, because the upper portion of the bracket is taking so long, there's a very high chance that we're just going to go into the lower semis. We're just waiting for ByuN versus Young Yakko to finish, then bam, we'll jump to the lower semifinals, and hopefully by the time the lower semis finishes, we have the upper semifinals available. That's the hope, at least. The hope is that that it all lines up. Otherwise, there might be some extra downtime. technically, if matches are fast, we might even catch like the potential quarterfinals match even. Like it depends on the length of games and how everything comes together. But for the most part, we have our first two semifinalists, Percival and SHIN. They make it to the semis, which means they are in the money, papi. True, true. They'll earn some money for their time, some prize money for their time even, and bearing in mind we will have the raffle as well before the finals. There is a random raffle for the players that we do conduct before said finals. The only prerequisite is that you have to have played your games, and it looks like there's one player that's ineligible for the raffle, and that is Zoblar against SHIN. There was a walkover. Zoblar didn't show, so is ineligible for the raffle. Just as a heads up. But otherwise, we are going to be going on a break. Going to be going on a short break. Again, we're just going to be waiting for Yako versus ByuN to finish. They're currently 10 minutes into their game. So they're entering the mid game, the mid to late game even, getting up to 4-base play, potentially, depending on what's going on in there. Hard to say. So we're going to be going on a break, and we'll see you guys soon after that break. See you soon. See you soon. Hope. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break. I do apologize as it was an extended break, but regardless, we're here with the semi-finals, los semifinales, papi. Here we go. We're live with our best of 3 ZVT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Onside. It is SHIN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. It's time for the Gamba predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of 3 semi-finals. Meanwhile, as we get into this, the upper semi-finals is also ready for us at the same time. herO versus Percival in the upper semis. We'll get there after this series. Just as a heads up, back-to-back lower semis, then upper semis, and then raffle time, and then grand finals. As the plan. That is the structure here of the remainder of the broadcast as we are jumping into game number 1, opening up pool first. Interesting. So early pool here from SHIN being a little bit cheeky. Meanwhile, ByuN setting up on the low ground, going for a 2-Rax Reaper opener. Okay. Again, gas is on the way. So 2-Rax Reaper out of ByuN. Meanwhile, pool first out of SHIN. The pool first should allow SHIN to be a little bit safer here. We'll see if we can get some damage done. Meanwhile, we are just going to be calming things down, opening up with our initial Reapers. Meanwhile, what is ByuN on about? Un momento. As I need to whip out my Google Translate. Where's my Kronos, papi? ¿A dónde está mi Kronos? Ah, no. Oh. Oh my god. So I'm not entirely certain as to the context of this. Hold on. There's some more conversation going on. Oh my god, we're not stopping. There's a long conversation here. SHIN was saying that he has a headache, and then ByuN was like, "Oh no, you're damaged." I think he was saying. And then they're having a bit of a discussion about. Oh. I think they're talking about nerfing the change of the worker counts. I think, or the lava production rate. Meanwhile, Ling's a new bypass. They bypass into Reapers. They bust into the natural, looking to force a cancel. Can we force a cancel? Can he force it? I don't think he can. It's gonna be he cannot. Ooh, I mean that's a lot of Lings going down. Those 6 Lings in total. And the SCV will survive. Wow, the SCV does survive. 4 Lings go down. There's 2 Lings left inside of the main. A bit of a shaky start here for SHIN. You could argue that he's at least keeping the Reapers busy, but to kill 6 Lings, that's a very nice start here for ByuN, and ByuN goes straight for a 3rd CC. Interesting. So 2-Rax Reaper into a double expand. Hyper Greed out of ByuN. Again, I would appreciate some proper translations of this, just because Google Translate was struggling with all that was being said. When it comes to the meta itself, though, again, welcome to our ZVT. Currently, Terran players are having a very, very hard time playing against Zerg, but we typically see one of 2 things. Either we see extreme aggression, I'm talking 1 base all-ins or 2 base all-ins, or we see extreme greed instead, and we are seeing extreme greed. This is a way for ByuN to have a bit of a power spike in the mid-game to be able to keep up, if not exceed, or excel over SHIN, or I would say keep up with SHIN. Meanwhile, SHIN going for the early Roach Warren. Ooh, that's a Roach Warren behind the mineral line. SHIN is getting ready for an all-in. I say all-in, he might go for a fake out, push with a couple of roaches, and then behind to just draw in and expand. But again, this is a very 2-base heavy play, and ByuN has yet to really confirm what's going on. ByuN has yet to see. Now, ByuN does know that there's no 3rd expansion, and at this stage of the game, lack of 3rd base is very suspicious. Very suspicious, and that suspicion forces a scout, but ooh, does see gas. Does see a gas geyser here. Early gas like this screams 2-base lair. I mean, in ByuN's mind, he might be thinking 2-base Muta, right? This could be 2-base Muta, or it could be 2-base Roach, or it could be 2-base Hydra, right? There's still different options as to what this could be, but is aware it's going to be gas intensive. We have a little bit more information. ByuN is still lacking that. As ByuN is working towards Sim, does get eyes on the 3rd base. Looking to delay. Can he force a cancel? Can he force it? Hatchery gets low. And looks like he will. Yeah, the cancellation here. SHIN, he cannot save it. Drone does go down. Behind this, roach speed is on the way. A couple of roaches are in production. There's no lings, as there is no ling speed, so SHIN has nothing to defend. And it looks like the plan is for SHIN to reveal his roaches. He has to. I mean, he has to reveal them. Meanwhile, behind this, a big shout out. A big shout to TKL in chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. I believe you were casting and covering RSL. So thank you so much. Hope you guys had a great time with Maestros earlier. We did tune into the SC Historian interview as well. So it's great to hear a little bit more from TKL. But thank you. Thank you so much. Many of those to everyone. Welcome to the semi-finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. This is a weekly tournament. This is the longest running weekly Open Cup out there. Very long running, of course, for many years, and we are in the semis, game 1 of our best of 3. Bearing in mind that after this series we have the upper semifinals, it'll be best of 3 between herO and Percival. So we have herO, Percival, SHIN, and ByuN. Currently we are facing off, and the initial roaches have been revealed. Behind this, we're amassing on more roaches, and SHIN, because of the delayed third expansion, we're leading towards a 2-base all-in. No drones, no saturation here, nothing here so far. But as I say that, I have to eat my words. 5 drones on the way. Very late saturation out of SHIN. This tells us, though, that he's thinking a little bit further ahead. This means that ByuN cannot freely expand. ByuN back at home, going for his own 3-1-1 setup. Double jump into the main base. And you can see 9 drones in production. So SHIN, he's going to drone up, he's going to saturate, but this is very late. Very late saturation here by SHIN. You can see here the SHIN, he's revealing his roaches. He wants to force an overreaction. He wants to force out bunkers and delay the third base and force an overreaction to delay the Terran. Healing Reaper confirms. ByuN scouts. Yeah, ByuN, he sees drones, he sees saturation. He now knows. He now knows that SHIN is not all in. And behind this, going for the pits, setting it for the hive. We're going for the hive. Back at home, now that ByuN is scouted, he can expand. He knows that he's free, he's safe to expand, to claim his own third, to build up in the economy. Now, I was talking about how, this is a little bit detrimental because SHIN was stuck on 2 bases for so long and his droning was so delayed. At the same time, I also have to admit, of course, that in the current iteration of StarCraft, with the increased lava spawn rates, droning up and recovering economically is easier now than before. So, because of that, it's not as detrimental as it otherwise once was. That's true. ByuN does him in. Denies mining. Catching one of the roaches, not bad. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 roaches go down. Pulls away. Delays some of the mining. Behind this, we're rushing into hive. And we'll see if the plan is to rush into the Ultra Cabin. +1 carapace is done. +1 melee is on the way. So SHIN, we should be working towards Ultras. That's going to be a big power spike for SHIN. I'm just worried that SHIN can't really afford many Ultras once the tech gets up and running. Again, the economy is still quite stifled for SHIN. He still needs more time to build up his 4th base. But I believe the goal here should be Ultras. ByuN pokes in, pulls away. Back at home, ByuN again just setting up, securing his 3rd, building up his bio. We have a couple of safety infestors. Oh! Is he looking? Oh my god, gee. ByuN, cuidado. Be careful, ByuN, be careful. We'll take some bows to the face. Thankfully, he does not lose the Medivacs. And we spoke about it earlier, but there it is, the Ultra Cavern. Again, if you see fast hive, fast civilization, it screams fast ultras, typically here for Zerg. I mean, depending on the setup. So the ultras on the horizon. Again, that's going to be the big power spike for SHIN. And it's all up to ByuN to slow SHIN down on his road to ultras. Bearing in mind that ultras that will hit pre-Liberators and pre-Ghost. Most likely. But here comes the main push. Let's go! ByuN is built up to this main army. He's got 5 tanks. 5 tanks, a massive amount of bio. The drops ideally are distracting. So here comes the main push. SHIN distracted by the drop. Trying to keep up. There's that spotter Zergling. ByuN rotating to the right hand side. Yo, shout out to the Tuna. Shout out to the Tuna. That's moving in. But is it too late? 5 ultras on the way. Now remember, these are 5 ultras, but there's no upgrades, right? There's no kindness plating. Fungo does late. Yeah, fungal does land. Brutal fungal, but there's no follow-up. Ooh, a second fungal, though. Yeah, the fungals are brutal. We have our Microbial Shroud. Marines are going down, but we tank the fungals. ByuN does stim in, takes out the mineral line. 12 drones going to be falling at the same time. Double drop here into the natural, into the third. Hatchery goes down, does snipe one of the ultras. Remember, the ultras are lacking carapace upgrades. They're lacking carapace. They have 1-1. They're squishy, papi. They're made out of paper. And this is it. ByuN, he has to keep going. He's going to keep pushing. Ultras are revealed. We commit in. Again, that's 4 ultralists. 1 fungal lands. And ByuN doesn't have enough. Yeah, ByuN does not have enough. These tanks, they will go down. Not enough bio. Again, took 2 massive fungals to the face. Lost too much. And SHIN holds. SHIN, he does hold on. Did sustain some losses. That is true. Lost the base. Lost the mineral line. But SHIN, he's not going to stop. He should not stop. Back at home, we have 1 tank. 1 tank to defend. We have some SimCity. ByuN, can he hold on? SHIN, can he break through? Nice snipe. Gets 1 ultra. 2 left. 1 left. Oh my. Again, you can see how quickly they go down. The ultra they do fall. Lack of upgrades. Massive fungal. Oh my god. Files like raise the army, but without any ultras, ByuN holds. ByuN is holding on. SHIN, he does not have enough. Has to back up. Has to retreat. And now we are in a situation here where SHIN lost all the ultras and SHIN lost the base, lost the workers. ByuN has the better economy. ByuN, he's even on workers plus mules, so better economy for ByuN. Did lose all of his tanks, so I mean, his pushing power has been stifled. Going for drop play. He's going for drop play. From this position, denying creep and potentially denying bases is still going to be ideal, but he has to be careful. Now, thankfully for ByuN, anti-air is quite limited. There's fungals, right? We have a couple of fungal growths available, but there's no corruptor. Nice cancel. This is all we need. Does cancel the base. As we mentioned, like this is all we need. This is all you have to do. Like deny the 4th base. Deny the 4th base. Clear up some of these tumors. Slow down SHIN while ByuN maxes. And again, ByuN is almost maxed. He's almost there. ByuN needs a little bit more time. Pushing through the center. Again, denying all that creep, or at least trying to. There's a scan. Does catch the active tumor. Active tumor goes down. Trades well. Due to the slow zones, things they cannot engage. And we have how many ultras? 2. 2 ultralisks. That's not many. ByuN comes over behind, denies the expansion. SHIN is being pulled apart. He cannot get a 4th. And SHIN is being outscaled. SHIN is being outscaled. He cannot get a 4th base. Mind shots popping off. Massive connections. We have some fungals, but again, the follow-up is not good enough. Yeah, not good enough. There's 1 ultra left. Once again, another Widowmine connects. 1 ultra remaining. Getting up to 2. Getting up to 2 ultralists. My apologies, down to 1. That's the ultras that get focused down. And carapace is finally finishing up. So finally, we're going to have peak ultras available with their upgrades. Kindness plating with +3 carapace. +3 attack is still not quite done, so we're still lacking an upgrade there. But the ultras, they should now be a little bit tankier. The issue, though, is that because we've stumbled our way to this point, there's only 1 ultralisk. Like, we don't have, like, a massive swarm coming into the army. It's just a couple of lings, a couple of baitings, and 1 ultralisk. Mind shots to bait it out. Nice baits out of SHIN. And baits out the mind shots. SHIN, he does hold on. At the same time, another backstab. Can we force another cancel? We can. It's close. Up on Buggy the last. He gets... Oh, no! He picks up too soon! No! It's so close. ByuN, he picked up 1 second too soon there. Even if he had lost all his units, it would have been worth it. It would have been worth it, as there aren't really many units here. At the same time, though, does him in. Ooh, we'll take a fungal to the face. Bailey's going to be rolling in. Ooh, second fungal. Better trades. Better trades for SHIN. Uh-oh. Yeah, SHIN, he trades well. Now, there's a silver lining here for this hatchery, is that it's going to finish and it's on low HP because of the damage dealt earlier, which means technically ByuN could kill instead of cancel this base. He could get a kill, but SHIN is ready. SHIN, he's ready. He's got his infestor. He has his fungal growths. ByuN pushing on the left-hand side does land a 4th base. And it is imperative here that ByuN is as aggressive as possible. He cannot let up. Ooh, very nice. He locks down one of the ultras. Locks him down. Zones away the army, using the terrain against SHIN. Yeah, locks down the army. Keeps on pushing. Liberation has arrived. Oof. We have a bit of freedom. Yeah, we have some freedom here at the same time. That's a kill. We spoke about that. That's a kill, not a cancel. Kills the 4th. Ooh. Plaza landing. Show some mines. There's a lot of Widow mines here. At the same time, SHIN does counterattack. Ooh, 8 SCVs. 8 SCVs going down. We spoke about this earlier, but with this current style of TVZ, because it's so aggressive and so high octane, there's very little to defend back at home. And with that, 8 workers go down. ByuN, his hope here is that he's as aggressive as possible. Ooh, the Biles! Oh my god, they land! Even without the fungals. Yeah, Biles do land. ByuN is hoping to be as aggressive as possible to make sure that SHIN is stuck at home, but now SHIN is broken free. He's broken free from the contain. He moves out, shows some mines. Ooh, forcing friendly fire. Better mine shots towards the end. Insane mine connections. And with that, the final Ultralisk is going to be targeted. There's not much here. The Lings are trickling in. We have 2 Ravagers as well. Sorry, I say 2, 4. Up to 4 Ravagers. The Planetary is going to fall. Can we save it? Can we save the Planetary? We can. GG gets called. SHIN was all in. Fails to break the base. And ByuN will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played again, very aggressive, very high octane. If you missed the openers, remember, this all began with a fast 3cc build. It was 2 ranks Reaper into a very fast 3rd cc before the natural was even done. Hyper greed out of ByuN, and we spoke about it, how with this build, it does mean that ByuN has a stronger mid game, has a bigger power spike in the mid game. He was able to get into it, but it was 2 things happening at once. It was ByuN was being hyper greedy with a fast 3rd cc, but it was also SHIN being very tentative and very overly safe and defensive with the 2 base Roach into a late 3rd base as well. So SHIN had a delayed kind of growth period getting into the mid game. ByuN had a faster kind of growth period there, getting to a faster 3rd CC into a stronger and faster 2 and 3 base saturation. So the builds themselves did kind of work in favor of ByuN, and then ByuN, once he started being aggressive, he did not let up. Did not let up. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, we're going to be loading into game 2. We're going to be loading into At Eternity's Edge. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up. Spawning in the top left-hand corner here of At Eternity's Edge, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN, leading the series 1-0, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing on side, it is SHIN. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. Again, we did see ByuN get away with a greedier build. We saw SHIN play overly safe and delayed his own economy, and in the end it meant that ByuN was able to have a bigger power spike earlier on. Yes, SHIN was able to get into ultras quite quickly, but his upgrades were later, and ByuN was able to dominate and take better fights before kindness plating and before +3 was ready. And again, the aggression did not end for ByuN. And again, that's typically how TVZ has been looking for the past 2, almost 3 weeks now. For those that maybe have been absent from the meta and haven't been watching much of the new patch, because Zerg players have so much growth coming into the mid to late game, and because they have the advantage there, it has prompted hyper aggressive play from Terran players. You can't be defensive. You cannot be defensive. You cannot be passive. If you leave the Zerg player alone, they will max out real fast and real quick. So players like ByuN, Cure, Maru, Clem, they've all just been hyper aggressive, just doing the as much as they can, doing the most they can to slow down the Zerg and to put the pressure on and to hopefully break them, right? To break them with all that pressure, with all that aggression. That's the dynamic that's been forced. And I said this, I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks now. It's led for some really fun games, but it also means that it's very tense. And the moment that the Terran player takes a bad fight, the moment they take a bad fight, the moment that they lose momentum, the game just ends. It's very cutthroat right now. It's very, very cutthroat. If your aggression fails, if you aren't looking, if you lose one drop too many, especially in the mid game before you have your 3 base saturation up and running, if you lose too much too quickly, then the Zerg player just gains map control. They spread all the creep, they double expand, then bam, they're maxed out. So it's very, very tense. ZVT is very tense right now. But again, has led into some really exciting games. When it's working. I think an example of it being shut down pretty hard and pretty brutally is if you watch the finals of Home Story Cup. you watch Clem versus serO, like, again, like Clem was playing so well at Home Story Cup, and if you want an example of like what ByuN just did against SHIN, watch Home Story Cup, Clem versus Reynor, right? Clem versus Reynor was very high octane, very aggressive. Like Clem, he was pulling Reynor apart, and it was very chaotic, and it was the same kind of thing. The same thing that we just saw between ByuN and SHIN in game 1, we saw out of Clem and Reynor at Home Story Cup, and then compare that to Clem versus serO at Home Story Cup, and serO, he was playing so safe, and he shut down Clem every time, and it was a little more one-sided, just because it showed the other end of things, where if the aggression fails, like it very quickly like swings in favor of Zerg. Like it's you can see like both extremes at Home Story Cup if you watched the playoffs, where Clem versus Reynor is when the aggression works, and Clem versus serO is when it doesn't. It was like, oh gosh. So you can compare. Meanwhile, once again, fast OTC. Not the same build though. This time it's going to be racks into factory into third base, so it's going to be a third CC before starport. Economic build here by ByuN, but not what we saw last time. Meanwhile, Jesus, that is an insanely fast lair. Sorry, I was just lost in talking about the matchup. But this is going to be I want to say like 350, 345. Very, very fast lair timing here from SHIN. This screams two-base muta. A two-base muta here, and oh. Hello. That's mech. Interesting. Okay. Huh. So we have a second and third factory here, and we're gonna mech it up. We're going to Mass Hellion, maybe into Battle Mech. If this fails to get damage done, oh, my apologies. I thought it was two-base muta. We're gonna run it back. Two-base Hydra. Okay. Now, if you haven't seen this before, two-base Hydra, this was prevalent in the meta at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, like first half pre-patch, we saw a lot of two-base Hydra from SHIN, from Solar, and from Rogue, from the Korean Zerg players. But this is the first time I'm seeing two-base Hydra post-patch. Like now with the new patch, I haven't actually seen this build in like a month, maybe coming up on 2 months. This can kind of be hidden and this can look like muta play, and then you can like force a reaction to defend against mutas, and bam, you show up with hydras. This has a really big power spike with mass hydra. Usually you delay banelings, but this was an earlier nest out of SHIN. That's a lot of gas. It's a lot of gas if we plan on going into fast baneling speed. Usually we delay baneling speed and we go into like a heavy ling hydra count instead. So safety baneling nest. SHIN, he does see the hell. Oh, he knows. Okay. Yeah, SHIN, he sees all the factories, so that's why we're seeing the baneling nest here, to wall off and to have banelings ready in case we see like a Hellbat push, for example. So SHIN got a full scout. SHIN is fully aware. It's fully aware. Lasers doing some versus Clem on ladder yesterday. Two-base Hydra, that is. Yeah, as we mentioned, like this build was popular at the start of the year, like 6 months ago. Like 6 months ago, or I say 6 months ago, like it was all throughout like GSL Season 1 and coming into GSL Season 2. Again, pre-patch. This was done a lot by the Korean Zerg players. Just I think because of the buffs to the mutas and because of just how chaotic ZVT has been, like we just haven't seen many players like be able to go back to this. But it's cool to see that we're branching out a little bit. Here we go. So here we go, as we are gonna massing. Behind this SHIN, he's cutting workers. You can see here under saturation. He's not taking his gases, he's undersaturated. SHIN, you don't have to go all in with this build, but we're being hyper aggressive and committing very, very hard. Basically moving out. I tentatively say all in because the upgrades aren't lined up with this. Like +1 range is only halfway done, +1 melee only just now began, so it's a little bit awkward. Like SHIN is very much so hyper committed, like all in, but the upgrades won't hit, so it's kind of weird. It's a little bit messy. But can we come in from behind? Oh yeah, Hydras, they push forward. Lings are denied. Trying to collapse on the sentries on the cyclones, I meant to say. Oh, okay, and they just get roasted. Yeah, Lings are roasted, and with that Hellies, they break through. The Blue Flame Hellions, they roast up everything. They roast up the Lings, they roast up the Hydras as well, and shit is being completely hard countered by the Blue Flame Hellions. Oh my god. Shin saw the mech, by the way. He saw it. He saw the mech, and if you remember, I was expecting him to go Ling Bane Hydra, because Banelings are a better answer here to help zone and to help deal with the battle mech, to have something in between your army at least. But instead we went for the all-in. We did not hit our timing with the upgrades, and that was an expensive loss for Shin. Oh, the surround. The flank. Okay. Baits him in. Baits him in. Very nice stutter stepping. Very nice catch here from Shin. And Shin now drones. Now he drones up. Of course, of course. Very messy game. Very, very messy here. We see ByuN scanning for the gold, making sure that he's ahead. He is, by the way. Economically, ByuN's in a better position. He isn't just ahead in workers, but he's ahead in mules. Like, that does have a boosted economy. Shin's fourth base is very late. Late fourth, late gases, late drones, late tech as well. Everything has been delayed here for Shin. Because, again, he was all in, but it was a very wonky all in. Like, it was... Yeah, it felt like Shin was kind of like maybe freestyling a little bit and reacting to the mech of ByuN. I can't imagine that Shin has too much experience against this. And it all just fell apart. It all just fell apart. I think Shin just felt pressured, or maybe he thought that there was going to be an opening, a bigger opening than there was. But ByuN's looking comfortable. Looking very comfortable here. 4 CCs on the way, on par with the fourth base of Shin, which you never want to see. Like, this is detrimental for the Zerg. Shin, yep, he has a double expand. He has a double expand to catch up. So 4th and 5th base on the way. Now, I will say that one of the downsides of this variation of mech, or just mech in general, especially once you transition away from battle mech here, is that if we had drop play, like last game, we could be denying these bases. We can threaten the bases and deny them and fight for map control. ByuN can't really do that, because this army isn't getting any bigger. We're switching into tank production, and we're doing something that I mentioned that is really difficult to get away with in the current patch. That is defend and be more like macro oriented. So basically ByuN is giving up map control. He's just giving up map control. He's giving Shin a bunch of freedom. So even though Shin's 4th is late, his drones are late, his tech is late, because he's being left alone, he can recover. He can recover, he can build up, he can max out, and he can make up for his earlier losses, and ByuN is just turtling up back at home. He's turtling up back at home, and I think that this benefits Shin more. I know that ByuN, he's also like refining a mech army, and mech armies are very efficient, that is true, but the reality is that I don't see ByuN getting a 5th. Like, I don't see him getting a 5th base like this. The 4 base setup is a little more easier to secure, but a 5th base is going to be very, very difficult. And remember, it isn't just that. Specifically, this map has a bunch of mechanics that hurt turtle heavy play. What is that? Well, whoever isn't turtling, gold and 2 high yield gas bases. So Shin doesn't just have a base advantage, he has like an even greater income advantage with gold minerals and with high yield gases as well. So he can be even more efficient with a lower drone count. Again, these specific features are designed to punish turtle heavy play, because then the player who isn't turtling has access to even more rich bases, even more effective bases. So obviously they haven't, Shin hasn't taken them yet, but they're available, and thankfully ByuN is pushing, and we'll see what he can get done. ByuN is pushing through the center. Like, again, if ByuN was more passive and more defensive, like, I'd be concerned, but he is setting up. Oh! Yeah, League's get punished. Where are the Vipers? 3. Okay, we have 3 Vipers. Vipers are going to be crucial. We need those blinding clouds. I do appreciate that ByuN lands at the gold, so he will be able to delay that gold base. Like, it's very, very crucial that ByuN fights and contests the gold and also the high yield gas bases as well. Like, he's got to fight for them. 5th base on the way. This is where Shin has to be activated. Now Shin, he can't just drone and tech up. Shin has to make ByuN fight for this base. Work for the base. He's got to work for it. Shin scouts. Shin is aware. You can see instantly he does make ByuN know that he knows. Ooh, catching at the Hellions. Yeah, it does catch at the Hellions. Vipers moving in. Does it like 1 tank. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 tanks going down. As Speak goes here, and Shin can just back off and just regenerate that energy. So Vipers, they just have their way with this army. This is where we do need Thors or Vikings or some kind of anti-air to zone away the Vipers. In the late game, ideally Ghost Mech is what you want, so you have a couple of supportive ghosts for EMPs and snipes. But ByuN isn't there yet. As ByuN is double expanding. Okay. He is double expanding. Jesus. Meanwhile, SHIN, he rushed into the Greater Spire. Bearing in mind, these are going to be 0/0 Broodlords, so it is a bit of a risk. Usually, it's the opposite. Usually, you do want to, like, prioritize upgrades first, and then go for the Broodlord switch when you have 3. Like, at least +3, or maybe even 3/3. But at least +3 attack. Here, it's going to be a rush into 0/0 Broodlords, and, I mean, hey, where's the anti-air? Remember, there's no Vikings, there's no Thors. Cyclones, they're not the best anti-air against this, and there we go. Now we begin Viking production, but this is late. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. This isn't late. It's the Broodlords are early. True. Like, it's it's the opposite. ByuN isn't ready for this because why would you be? Broodlords are early. And they're getting a lot of damage done. Very nice Broodlord timing. Yeah, it comes in, cleans up all the tanks, pushing forward. And again, this Broodlord switch is catching ByuN with his pants down. Yeah, all the tanks are falling. And with that SHIN, he breaks through. He breaks through. Catching out 3, 4, 5 tanks. ByuN trying to build up. That back across the map. He does go for a big counterattack. Pushing into the mineral line. Gets a couple of drones. That's going to be 9 drones going down. Getting up to 12. 13 drone kills. Does distract. But what about the main army? What about that main army? You can see ByuN is making 5 Thors. He's got 5 Thors on the way. He's got 4 Vikings. Now the Ducks 1, 2, 3 Vikings, and he does focus 2 of them down. Barely gets 3. Takes down 3 Vikings. The Broodlords, they still break through. Again, it's crucial that SHIN makes use of these Broodlords while he can before there are too many Vikings and Thors. So he cleans up every single tank. He's on the timer. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. Very nice Microbial Shroud. Moves further in. Boys are being pulled. Desperation out of ByuN, but again, ByuN has been broken. Losing every single SCV, and SHIN is going to lose all of his Broodlords, but it was worth it. It was very much so worth it. Because SHIN, he killed 2 expansions. He killed 2 bases, and he caught out all those tanks. That was, how many? That was what, 15? 15 tanks went down. Sorry, 17. 17 tanks. As some of them count differently when they're on siege, so we gotta... And there was some friendly fire going in as well. Heavy tank losses. And sure, now the era for the Broodlord is come and gone, but it's fine. We don't have to be stuck in our ways for Broodlord. Like, Broodlords, like, they had their timing. Their time is come and gone. Now back into Hydra Viper. So again, very fluid play here by SHIN. Oh, gee, oh god, the Hellions there. The Hellions, they can still roast up that army. Now, typically against like a Thor Hellion setup like this, this is where Infestors are ideal for their Neurals. Like, to neural the Thors. Thors are very, very tanky. And the Thors are pushing in. Do we have any Infestors? The answer is no. Oh, but we do have Vipers. Okay, Vipers are coming in. Gets 1, gets 2. 1, 2 Thors going down. We do try to Blinding Cloud. Where are the Hellbats? The Hellbats are now waddling in. Catching out another Thor, down to 4. Yeah, 4 Thors left. Lunging on forward, down to 2. And SHIN, he's barely overwhelming. Yeah, he does overwhelm again. Shadows to the Blinding Cloud, shadow to those Vipers. Covering all the tanks. That was a scary push by ByuN, but wasn't quite able to keep going. Wasn't able to pull it off. That was his time, that was his moment. And with that, another base goes down. We can see ByuN trying to expand. Did get a 5th base I'm running here. This southern... Wait, has SHIN even seen this? He does. Okay, he has seen it. He's rotating. Okay, he's rotating over towards that southern base. There are 5 Vipers in production. Let's go. There are 0 Vipers out currently, but does lunge in. Yeah, lunging forward, and this planetary should fall. Mass repair is not going to be good enough. There's not enough repairs. This comes back to what we said earlier, where establishing a 5th base here for a turtling player on at attorney's edge is difficult. It's very, very difficult. So the 5th base is going down time and time again. ByuN takes the center base, and we should be seeing Shin rotate to that center base. Some Hellions, they do get 13 drone kills here on the top side. Again, the Hellions, like they've done well for themselves the entire game, by the way. Against drones, against lings, against hydras. They put in the work. And ByuN, he needs the space. He needs it. Setting up his freedom zones, throwing down turrets, setting up his tanks. He needs to hold on to this expansion to sustain himself. At the same time, I've kind of been glossing over this, but SHIN has not been redroning. SHIN, he's on 67 workers. He's now making a wave of workers, but the drone count is very low for SHIN. He's been very lax when it comes to redroning, so SHIN's macro has been slipping. SHIN has no bank as a result of that, true. So really, like, but us praising the Hellions, we were really understating it. Like the Hellion run-bys and the harass and now Liberators as well has been keeping SHIN in check. SHIN's broke, no shot. And remember what we said earlier, SHIN, he never got the gold. He never got the gold base. He never got the high yield gas base either. He never got them. SHIN, he's struggling. He never acquired any of the expansions. Battlemech hiding back, trading well. Yo, the one MVP Hellbat standing strong, making sure there is no base. Also, of course, ByuN showing his tenacity. No, what am I thinking of? His fortitude. No F2. Oh no, he just did. Never mind. just as I say it. God damn it. ByuN, I was trying to praise you. Oh, still snipe the expand. Still snipe the expansion. We abducted our own overseers. I see that right? I think I did. Shit, we gotta lock in. We gotta calm down, baby. Calm down. We're slipping up. Not really. He was saving the overseers. True, true. He was saving them. As ByuN, he has maintained the 5th base, and now, hey, expanding on the top side, taking the center base as well. ByuN is out mining. He's out producing. And this Battlemech army done a great job here, just roaming around, knocking down some of the stack defense, and just ensuring that these center bases have not been taken from SHIN. SHIN, he has no creep, right? He has no creep spread. He has no active tumors. He has no map control back. We'll get the expansion though. We'll snipe the planetary. Planetary goes down. ByuN does respond. SHIN getting 22 SCVs at the same time though. The drones, no, the drones. Yeah, workers getting caught out. Remember, SHIN, he's broke. He needs those bases. He needs the hatchery. ByuN has a fresh one. Remember, he has a fresh mining base here on the top side. Nice abduction. Gets one Thor. SHIN rotates. Catching out a good amount of cyclones. And we have way too many Vikings. Oh. I mean, there are a couple of Broodlords, so I guess it's okay. But we're losing a lot of tanks, a lot of cyclones, some heavy losses there for ByuN. SHIN rotates. Vikings trying to keep up. Can we catch the Broods? Gets one. It does catch one of the Broodlords. SHIN getting supply blocked. Ooh, second Broodlord goes down. But again, what about that ground army? We're building up more Hellions. How many tanks did we lose? 4. 4 tanks went down, and there aren't that many. There are not that many tanks here. ByuN rotates, once again checking the gold. Oh, there's expansion. Snipes the base. SHIN does not want to respond. Gears up on the expansion. You see, SHIN doesn't want to give up this position, but he will lose another Broodlord. Another 2. And the Vipers. Oh my god. It still abducts. Yeah, still does abduct. Takes down 2 Thors. And again, the ground army here is lacking. The ground army is lacking. There's only 2 tanks. Hydras, they lunge forward. They take down both tanks. 0 tanks left. And SHIN is overwhelming. He's overwhelming this position. The planetary goes down. There's 1 tank further back. But some heavy losses for ByuN. Losing 14 SCVs. ByuN down to 45 workers. Down to 45. Oh! Hydras, they lunge in, catch all the Hellions at the same time. Oh, the Hydras, they get exposed. Wow, they get exposed. They get shut down, and ByuN overwhelms. And SHIN was broke. He could not afford that loss. ByuN will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, SHIN at the very end, he that was almost like a patient, like the Zerg version of a patience blink, which is Hydras lunging into Blue Flame Hellion. Where they all lunged in and they all got roasted, papi. And again, SHIN, he had no bank. He had some mining going on. He had that northern base, but he needed more time to make use of that, of course, and he lost every single Hydra there. Who needs tanks when you got some Blue Flame Hellions, papi? True. GG, well played. With that, ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0. Once again, a very intense, very intense back and forth here. The score was 2-0, but honestly, game 1 and game 2, very dynamic. Very dynamic, very intense, very back and forth. It was, these were not clean games. they were not clean. But they were fun. They were dynamic, they were exciting. GG well played. With that, ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0. He'll advance on to the grand finals, and we're jumping into the upper semis into herO versus Percival. Let's go. Let us go. As we have our upper semis. Again, the winner of the series will face off against ByuN in those grand finals. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, big shout out to No Screen. Big shout out to No Screen in the chat. GG ByuN, 13 months, over 1 year of support. Thank you, papi. Thank you. We appreciate it. Half a new workers more army. Yes. He was like quote unquote super maxed. Quote unquote, like obviously he wasn't maxed out, but he did have a massive like army supply lead. It's true. He lunged into flamethrowers. He did. Like again, like that was. If you know what if you're familiar, if you're a little bit more old school, if you're familiar with the patience blink, it was very similar. Very similar. Plunged into the flames, baby. It was crazy. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Washout, we have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. Here we go. As we open up with a proxy. herO, he does open up. And before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets while you can. Get your gamba going as we do get into our best of 3 semifinals match. Who's going to claim the series? Now, coming into this, I would say that herO is favored, but at the same time, Percival, he has shown himself to be hyper aggressive in this matchup. A lot of 2-base all-ins, a lot of hyper aggressive play, but can he even get there? Because we have begun with that proxy gate. Oh boy. If ByuN can't even move with this, okay, yeah, watch yourself, Liberty City, when it comes to any kind of balance whining. Yeah, I could see. It was charging up. Yeah, not here. We're here to enjoy ourselves. And again, there's been some intense games so far in the lower semis. From here, we are going to be opening up with a Rax Expand, a single gas open out of Percival, going for a Rax Expand. Meanwhile, the Zealot is coming. You can see the first Zealot is banked up, second Zealot's on the way. Here, charging up those Zealots, charging up. I believe we should be going for a Stalker behind this. Cybercore's almost done, and Percival still has no idea. He never scouted the main. Percival, he went across the map for the eBay block. You can see the SCV is very suspicious. He's like, hold on, you're not expanding. What's happening? What's going on? It's going to be a late realization from Percival as now he goes in, and now he sees the gateway is missing. Yeah, now he sees, now he's aware. Instant bunker here from Percival. Zelta moving in. Stalker as well. And Percival now is aware. Does fully wall off, but it's a late wall. It's a late wall. That's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. Deeper goes down. Stalkers are moving in. Yeah, Stalkers are moving in, and they will not be able to deny the bunker, but we can zone. Yeah, it does zone the Reaper away. Reaper cannot get into the bunker. Zelta busts into the mineral line. Reaper's trying to get in. Coming from the other side. Yeah, trying to come from the other side. Marine does dive into the bunker as well. And Percival, he's going to lose so many SCVs here. 8, 9 workers going down. Ay, ay, ay. The army is trapped, but still trading well. Getting another, oh my god, almost another SCV. Almost. Pulling back. Second Stalker has arrived. Here to tank. Ooh. And as it settles, herO has a massive worker lead. 21 probes and the natural base here at the 3rd location. Meanwhile, Percival, because of all this aggression, CC is late and the factory is also late as well. Like, the factory has been delayed due to all the chaos, due to all the workers being pulled. It's a very shaky start here from Percival. Very, very shaky. So we go. Those Reapers, they do get zoned away. And with that, herO is defending back at home. He's holding, he's defending. Likewise, across the map, we do have our attempted 1-1-1 setup. CC's on the high ground in Percival. He's on the road to recovery. But again, it's a very shaky start here for Percival. Very, very shaky. He's got a ways to go. herO is free to expand. I will say that because of this expansion location, herO is going to be a little bit more spread out. He's going to be a little bit more isolated as well, the main and the natural. So there's potential for Percival to get some damage done. Potential at least, but we'll see. As it'll take some time to really get everything going. As hero's here to delay. Poking further in. There's that robot from herO. Oh, a Cyclone gets low. Yeah, Cyclone is low. You can see herO ready to force field as well. And not quite able to. But against some heavy damage here on that Cyclone. Shade moves in, provides high ground vision. herO here, the hallucination. Hallucinates the Colossus. Deepers are going down, and hero's breaking through. Behind this is nothing to defend. There's no bunker. There's only one Cyclone, a couple of vanilla Marines. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, some body blocking. Gets a Stalker. One Stalker goes down, bit of miscontrol there from herO. Heavy supply block. After losing 2 depots, he can't make anything. No. Yeah, factory cannot make. There we go. You have a Widowmine on the way. But we're on top of the factory. The factory may even just go down. Cyclone once again does take down a second Stalker. Yo, shout out to the Cyclone. Catching up two Stalkers so far. And a Sentry. Ooh, force fields the army in. Clutch pickup. Clutch micro. That's Percival again. He's barely holding on. But he's holding. Behind this gateway explosion. We're going for the gateway explosion. It's going to be 5 gates in total. 6. Oh my god, we're throwing down more. 6 gates in total. Medevac moves out. Thankfully, there is no blink. No Twilight Council. No upgrades. The council just finished. Observer gets called out. Oh. As the Medevac is still very low. Yeah, Medevac is low, and the Medevac does go down. Ay, ay, ay. The Cyclone is trapped, and herO, he wants that Cyclone. He wants the Cyclone. Oh my god. Losing another Stalker. Yeah, another Stalker goes down. Cyclone is, getting low. Okay, better at the mine shots. Oh, does force it on burrow. It does force that on burrow. We do nice retarding here by Percival. Oh my god, the dodge. Dodges the shot. Tank has arrived. Percival getting barely by enough time for the tank. But still losing SCVs. Still losing more workers here. The lock-on. That Cyclone has done so much. That one Cyclone. It's just been the one, by the way. Snipes the Prism. 8 kills on the Cyclone, but they've all been high-value kills. As Percival, he's fighting for his natural, but again, he's got a 1-1-1 setup. 1 tank, 1 Cyclone, 1 Banshee. Army moves in. We've got the slow lots. They move in. Brings down the tank. Oof. Cyclone barely tries to kite away. The 2 HP Cyclone. Can herO finally bring it down? Oh my god. The Cyclone never dies. Never, Pappy. As we get into the main, Cyclone is not being repaired, by the way. Still low HP. Cyclone still low. That's another 6 SCVs. Can we get it? Ooh, Banshee goes down. Tank as well. And GG gets called before the Cyclone gets killed. And herO takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG. Well played. Aye, aye, aye. As a herO, he does take a lead in the series. Again, a very aggressive game out of herO, winning it back. herO went for a proxy gates. And remember, Percival went for the SCV eBay block, but he did not SCV scout. So because of that, it was a late reaction to the proxy. Percival, if you remember, he kept the SCV on the low ground. Then he was patrolling between the third bases, looking for the expansion before finally going into the main base. So a very, very late scout there from Percival. A late realization, a late reaction, and that's why we saw herO get so much damage done, because Percival didn't feel the need to go into the main base to see, you know, the standard setup, as there was no standard setup. And that's herO. True. That's herO, Pappy. So we're getting into game number 2. Is it a herO Cyclone? It was a herO Cyclone. As we are loading into game number 2 and spawning in the top right corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Percival. Let's go. Let us go. So we're going to be opening up. The SCV moves out across the map, so does the probe. And this time, Percival should be double checking the main base. Should be checking, should be confirming. Yep. So in chat, someone asking about what is the Bunny vet fund. I mean, it was already explained in the chats, but earlier this year there were a lot of. Oh, let's go! It's time for the Terran to proxy. It's Percival's time. Let's go. No, shall we do it as well from herO? As it is going to be 1 gate pack at home. Okay, yeah, herO, he's scouting. He's scouting for proxies nearby at the 3rd location. Percival's proxy is technically on his half of the map, so not the most committed proxy. Not the most committed, but we'll see how this all does unfold. But someone's asking about the vet funds. All the donations do kind of help with that. At the start, we made like a separate video about it, but at the start of the year, there were a bunch of medical complications regarding some of our pet bunnies, one of our pet bunnies, regarding Chi-Chi, and yeah, so there were a lot of costs associated with that, regarding like ultrasound and x-rays and MRI machines. I think the overall cost was like over $2,000. Like it was very expensive. But she's recovered well, recovered nicely, and everything's okay. But yeah, that was to help out with those costs. And we appreciate all the support. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. As for now, we're going to be settling in. Again, we do have our proxy ranks, and again, it's not the most committed proxy, just Reaper. Just Reaper into follow-up back at home. So this is not an all-in. I should emphasize that. It's not an all-in. It is an aggressive opener, but again, from here, we can just float back and then settle into a standard game. Because Reaper does hit a little bit faster, it should hit pre any kind of shield battery setup, so we can maybe find some damage. Reaper does move in, and we'll find a probe. Does get 1 probe kill. Gets 2 in total, gets 1 of the scouting workers, of course, moves in, gets zoned away, but nice damage nonetheless. Catching 2 probes back at home, we do have our follow-up here. And double gas, factory into a delayed CC. No, that's a starport. Okay, so the Max is floating back home. This is a little more dedicated here from Percival, a very late natural, very late CC here from Percival. Ay. So very committed, very aggressive. Going for the mine drop. Reapers, they do dip in. Sorg is out of position, gets 1 probe. Oh, gets 1. But will lose the Reapers. 2nd probe goes down. Yeah, 1, 2, getting up to almost 3 workers. Oh, there we go. Final worker does go down. 3 probe kills. Nice damage with the Reapers. And it's all just setting up. It's all setting up for the follow-up. Percival, he's not one base all in. He's expanding, but again, a very delayed expansion from Percival. And we'll see how good these mine shots, these Widow Mines are. Remember, Widow Mine has recently been buffed when it comes to the time it takes for these shots to go off and to be triggered. So mine drops are now a little bit more effective. And we'll see if Percival can get into the mineral line. We'll see. I think there was someone asking earlier about the bug. There is currently a bug that's plaguing SC2 in regards to the load feature for the medevac, but bearing in mind that we are not allowing players to use that bug for our tournament, not allowing that. I think someone was asking if anyone had done it or anything like that, but we're disallowing that from our tournaments, from Tuna Cup. For those who don't know what the bug is, there's currently a bug where if you pre-burrow a Widow Mine or pre-siege a tank, and while it's burrowing and while it's sieging, if you pick it up with the auto-load feature, which is a new feature of this patch, it stays burrowed or it stays sieged in the medevac, and then there's shenanigans involved. This where the tank turns into a tank evac, and the Widow Mine you can actually shoot while it's inside the medevac while you're like boosting around. Because it acts like the Widow Mine is burrowed inside of the medevac. It's like the return of Hunter Seeker Missile. True. So there's a bug that's currently affecting that. Jesus, that was close. that was like a quarter of a second away from going off. That was insane. herO. The nerve of herO to pull into the new Widow Mine that's crazy. But it works. Did work in the end. My heart, Babby, my heart. I see. And with that occurring, of course, herO has a massive lead. Remember that Percival, he delayed his own expansion in favor of the Reaper and in favor of the Widow Mine aggression. Widow Mines where they were completely shut down. The Reapers did find some damage, that is true. So the Reapers, they were able to hold their own in their own way. But this still did delay the economy of Percival to the point where now we're down 10 workers. The aggression continues as we're going for our Banshees, but the interception is here. No, late reaction. Yeah, Percival, he does react too late, and the Banshee goes down for nothing. Ay. There is no cloak. There's a second Banshee in the way, but again, if this fails to get damage done, then Percival, he is miles behind. The mine drops failed. The Banshees so far have failed as well. And again, the base is late because of all this, which means delayed economy, delayed income, worse production as a result of that, and oh boy, let's go. A couple of boys are being pulled. Percival that much more committed. At the same time, here he has how many gates? He has soon to be 4. So 4 gates set up. No blink. Instead, he has a War Prism. Distracting the army. Oh my god, that lock-on is crazy. He gets it. Oh my god, that lock-on just would not break. Takes down the Prism. Very nice pick off here from Percival. There's no backstab either. No backstab, no juggling. These Stalkers, they pull away. They're getting cornered. Oh, losing one Stalker. So a very nice catch here from Percival. Imagine a world where Percival moves out and then the Prism is here to backstab. But there is no War Prism. No more War Prism. No backstab. hero's racing back. You can see here that we're continuing Banshee production. This tells us to base all in. Like, we're producing nothing but army units here. We're just rallying across the map. It's all about having as much DPS as possible, as much damage output. And we're diving on the tank. And tank gets what? Yeah, it gets 2 shots. Does get 2 shots. Tank goes down. Banshee will hold its own. We have Immortals as well. And hero's holding. Yeah, here he's holding on. He's shutting this down. We have another tank coming in. Oh my god. And second tank has arrived. Gets focused now by the Immortal. The Banshees, though, they pop off. They snipe the Immortal. They snipe the Immortal, but again, there's still no more pushing power here. Ooh. Does focus on some of the Stalkers. Jesus, these Banshees. They snap the Immortals, they snap the Stalkers. Again, the Percival is trading well here, decently well, if only he hadn't lost those tanks. Without those tanks, he has less pushing power, and as time goes on, here the economy is now kicking in. Yeah, here we go, we're pulling more boys. We're pulling more boys. As we mentioned, like, this is like very, very all-in here from Percival. Doesn't pull all the boys, but does keep reinforcing. He's here to repair, and here to tank. As he's trying to heal back up. While pushing. Percival, he needs to break this position. And we'll see if he can. There's 3 Immortals behind this. Jesus. Yeah, there's 3 immortals. Zell say charge in. Charge is now done. Yeah, charge is now a factor. That's a lot of tank shots going off on the Stalkers. But the tank is going to go down. Now we have enough Stalkers. They focus on the Banshees as well. Oof. Yeah, 1, 2 Banshees go down, and Percival's army just crumbles. Just crumbles at this point. He had very little buffer, very little support for his high-tech units. And GG gets called herO. He will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, herO. He will claim the series in a hyper-aggressive series. herO going for the proxy in game 1, Percival going for the proxy in game 2. But unfortunately, Percival, he had a very shaky early game. Very, very shaky, losing the Mind Drop, losing the Banshees. It did weaken the overall push as well, which was quite strong, but again, it was a little bit weaker, and herO was able to shut it down, preserve his third base. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO does snowball out of control. With that, we now have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5. Best of 5 between herO and ByuN. Un momento. Now, before the grand finals, it is time for us to have something special to our tournaments that we do host on a weekly basis with our Tuna Cups, and that is going to be the random player raffle. Let's go. Let's go. It's time for la rifa, papi, la rifa. Let's go. As I do need a moment here to help set this up. But again, for those that are curious, every single tournament we do have a random raffle. It is a raffle for the players, bear that in mind, not for the people in the chat. So if you want to take part in this, you have to play in the tournament itself. For those that are curious, every player that competed tonight is equally eligible for the random raffle. As long as you played your matches, of course. And as you can see here, we did have a plethora of players. 16 players are eligible in total. I say 16, we had 17 players. But if you look at the first round, if you look at SHIN played against Zoblar at the start of the series, at the start of the broadcast, but there was a forfeit. There was a forfeit there was a walkover. That's why it's signified as 99/0. And because of that, Zoblar, he is not eligible for the random raffle. But outside of that, everyone else is eligible. Everyone else is eligible. As you can see here, herO takes down Percival 2-0. ByuN takes down SHIN 2-0 as well. And it is time, or it is raffle time. Bam. Beautiful. 16 players. 16 players. And this week, one of these 16 players does walk away with 5 USD. Nothing crazy, nothing wild, just a fun little raffle. It's a way to incentivize signups. It's a way to incentivize signups, participation. It also is a way to spread the love a little bit, spread out that prize money to players that don't necessarily make it into the top 4. It could be a top 4. It could be herO. It could be herO, it could be ByuN, or it could be someone that got knocked down in the first round. Let's go. So this week, and also hashtag read in the chat as always. It's but this week, oh, congratulations! This week, congratulations to Percival. He just got knocked out in the semifinals, and because he made it to the semis, he's still in the money. But he does actually walk away with an extra 5 USD. He does actually out-earn SHIN. He made it to the semis as well, but Percival, he has that extra bonus of the random raffle. Shout out to, I see Young Yakov being the runner-up there with Perceive, Signier, herO, and Scorpion. But congratulations to Percival. GG. GG, well played. The Gamba, papi, the Gamba. Gamba as well. As with that, we're now getting ready for the grand finals. Un momento. So congratulations. Is that the first time Percival won as well? Like I know that like ByuN's won a couple of times. Rebellion has won a bunch, of course. But congratulations to Percival. Congrats. Whew, as we're getting ready for our grand finals, vetoes are now done. Veto's done. We're jumping into game 1. Game 1 is going to be on at Attorney's Edge, and oh, something happens. Looks like there was a bit of a bug. Okay, looks like there was a bit of a lobby bug, so we're going to have to restart, remake, and then we'll be jumping back in. Here we go. Un momento. Yeah. Just catching up in the chat. And also, right, before I get ahead of myself, before we get into the finals, if you want to support this tournament, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund this tournament on a regular basis, and you can help us grow the prize pool of our tournament as well. Again, we do have our next stretch goal, as you can see, just under the camera here. We do have our next stretch goal for Patreon to boost the prize pool and to pay out, to have a boosted prize pool and to ideally pay out more players as well. Ideally. So it's all done via Patreon. You can see the breakdown, of course, the breakdown. So, of course, thank you so much to all of our patrons as well, to all of our patrons, for supporting the event, for funding the event as well, for allowing us to have this on a regular basis. If we do reach a future stretch goal, we can do what we did last year, which is have monthly finals. Last year, for the month of September, October, November, December, for the last 4 months of the year, we did have a monthly finals for Tuna Cup. So it meant that we had 3 weeklies and then banned the monthly finals, bringing together all the top players of the month for Tuna Cups. So we could get there with future stretch goals. We could get there. For now, though, back to our weeklies. Back to our weeklies. As we are getting into At Eternity's Edge. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Eternity's Edge, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran. The blue Terran player, the South Korean Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gamba time. It's Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, I lean toward, herO is straight up the best Protoss in the world. He's the best Protoss player in the world, so it's hard to bet against herO, but, you know, players have been exploring the patch. They've been more aggressive. They've been taking more risks, more chances. Hey, we saw ByuN whip out mech against SHIN earlier. He's crazy. He's lost his mind. Do we even see mech against Protoss? Maybe. We might. He might have lost it completely. As we open up with the proxy. Let's go. We do open up. The proxy is right outside of the natural and the low ground location, so much more committed location here. Gas is being taken back at home, and I'm curious to see how committed this is, whether it's just proxy Reaper or if we do intend to be a little bit more sinister with this and go for like a tech lab into proxy Marauder. I could be mistaken. I think that's done with 2 gases, but I know that there's like 2 gas and 1 gas variations, so not entirely certain when it comes to said variants. Eyes are on ByuN. We'll see. We shall see. He's catching up. You do it with lurkers too? Yeah, I would imagine it's just a bug with the auto load feature. But there it is, proxy Marauder. So it is going to be with the tech lab. So just 1 gas. 1 gas into tech lab into proxy Marauder here. A very dedicated play here by ByuN. And so far, herO has not probe scouted. He may check the nearby 3rd locations. Eyes are on herO. We're now just going for his own standard opener. Gate, Cyber, Expand out of herO. And he does not scout, he does not check, he has no idea as to what's going on. There's no probe scout across the map, and there's no safety proxy scout either. herO cutting all the corners. And it's lining up well here for ByuN. The Gamba is paying off. It's paying off. Yeah. Why did Press will GG out when he starts the cyclone? True. Haha. Music bug seems new. Yeah, the music bug was plaguing us throughout the weekend, throughout the past couple of days. It gets a little bit awkward, especially for long games, because suddenly there's just no music. But yeah, it has been very noticeable for the past couple of days. But here we go. Our boys are being pulled, the Marauders are revealed, Bunker is on the way. Now, due to the zoning, the SFV should go down. No Bunker. Yeah, Bunker does not finish, but still 3 probe kills. Nice pickoffs here from ByuN. And looks like he'll find the pylon as well. Yeah, that's like the pylon. Nice pickoff. Behind us, we have a 4th Marauder on the way. Back at home, we're going for our Cyclone switch. This should be factory into Tech Lab into Cyclone. And ByuN, ideally, he's fishing for a Stalker. Like, he's hoping that maybe he can bait out a Stalker and then focus it down. Remember, Concussive Shell was researched. Next is getting low. Sentry has arrived. We can force field. We can Guardian Shield as well. Does go for the shield. The boys are hit a tank. And one Stalker goes down. Massive pickoff. They trade. And in the end, every Stalker will fall. Yeah, every Stalker will fall. We still have 4 Marauders. One of them does kite back. And with that, ByuN will kill everything. Oh my god. Cleans up the army. And he gets all 4 Stalkers, the Sentry, and the Nexus as well. He gets everything. And he just ignores it. He goes further in and getting some probe damage as well. 3 more probes. And the Nexus. Insane damage here. Again, ByuN, who was hoping he could catch out the army. And he did. He did catch out the army. herO just misjudging the strength of those Stalkers, or just was unable to focus on the weakened Marauders. And these are some brutal losses for herO. GG gets called, and with that, ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. ByuN does take lead in the series. Again, herO misjudging the strength of his army to break out. Not just that, but also 0 scouting. No probe scout across the map, and no probe scout at the proxy locations either. So hyper greed there from herO gets punished. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are getting into game number 2. ByuN does begin with a lead, and we'll see if he can keep going from here. He does have some momentum. Does have momentum. Let's go. ByuN is the strongest Terran in the world. Who can lift the most? Who's currently active? That's a good question. Big Gabe. Yeah? I think? Am I missing someone? There we go, spawning in the right-hand corner. To be fair, I did forget this, but ByuN has been going to the gym recently. He's been posting pics on Instagram. ByuN flexing his muscles. That was last year though. I don't know if he's been keeping up. I don't know. In the right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom side of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Yes, so for those who haven't seen ByuN, it was last year, I think. The years they blend together, it was either 2025 or 2024. One of those 2 years, ByuN, he was going to the gym, like, very, very diligently. Like, he always brought it up. Like, whenever he casted ByuN, like, in KSL or in Tuna Cups as well, he'd bring it up. Because I think typically he'd go to the gym and then he'd play in the tournaments, or he'd go to the gym right after the tournaments. He'd just go right after. But I don't know if he's been keeping up with that. So I don't know if he's the strongest Terran player anymore. We'll see. We'll see. We need like a flex off team ByuN and Gabe. Oh no. There we go. There we go. For now, though, we're going to be opening up, and this time you can see here herO probe scouts. Remember, last game there was 0 scouting. This game, immediately he just probe scouts across the map. So very, 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 very fast scouts. He does confirm that the Rax is back at home, so you can see how one game influences the other throughout the course of his series. Because technically, this is inefficient, right? It's like ideally herO wants to get away without a probe scout, but because of the proxy in game 1, ByuN wins out in the mind games. He wins out in the mind games. Likewise, ByuN does go for a single Rax expand, but ByuN, he does skip the Reaper. It's ByuN cutting corners. ByuN, no SCV scout, no Reaper scout either. You can see he's checking the center with the Marine, but that's the most amount of scouting that he's really doing before getting a CC. So it's ByuN who's cutting corners, without an SCV scout, without a Reaper scout, which preserves the gas, of course, because we only open up Marine, is being a little bit safe in the sense he's checking the nearby proxy location at least, just a nearby location. But overall, just more corners being cut from ByuN as we're setting up back at home. Oh, that is different though. Not a Stargate opener, not a Twilight Council, we're going for a Robo opener instead. Now with a Robo opener, this can lead a couple different ways. This can lead into a fast bay into very fast Colossus production, into maybe even Prism into Colossus drops. This can also lead into a fast Prism into fast Gateway aggression. You have the fast War Prism, you can reinforce across the map and then apply pressure with Stalkers or Adepts, or this can lead into like some kind of Immortal based play, which is quite rare in this matchup. So leaning more towards Prism and fast bay. Leaning towards a fast bay. Back at home, ByuN is going for his own 1-1-1. Again, this build is quite rare. The reason why this is quite rare is because this will mean that the Protoss player has less map control. Prism is on the way. What I mean by that is that what do Blink Stalkers do? Well, with more mobile Blink Stalkers, you can catch drop play, you can shut down Banshees, you can harass and blink into bases and maintain map control and contain the opponent. Likewise, Phoenixes do something very similar, where if you open Stargate into Oracle or Stargate into Phoenix, you can scout, you can harass, you can do more damage. The Prism is a little more limited in what it can do across the map, so typically War Prism openers, they don't really scale as well coming into the mid game, but we are going for Immortal production. Oh, okay. Interesting. hero's being he's just rallying everything across the map. Okay. How many warp gates? The warp gate isn't done yet. He's only got one, soon to be 2 gateways. So here he does drop into the main base with the first prism with 3 adepts, and he's rallying across the map. So here he's not stopping. He's not stopping with aggression. Gets 1 SCV so far. Ooh, oh, the mine shot! Oh my god! It happens so quickly. Prism goes down, adepts, they're abandoned, they're stuck in the main. They're gonna kill some SCVs, but there's no way out. He has to recall. Yeah, he has to recall out. Ay. The aggression is subsiding, and ByuN, he defends very nicely here. He will lose 4 SCVs, but to kill the Prism and to catch the adepts, very nice. And the aggression that herO was hoping to go for has been delayed, has heavily been delayed. You can see he wanted to push. Again, like with like a Soul Train-esque early game setup. Moving out with the second Immortal. Meanwhile, the medevac is boosting in. As I mentioned, there's no Blink Stalkers, no Phoenixes, nothing to stop this. We're gonna get messy. Yeah, we're getting messy here. There's no warp gates either, so there's no defensive warp-in. Yeah, there's no defensive warp-in. ByuN does step in. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 probe kills. 6, 7. 6. 6 probes go down. Nice pickup. At the same time, herO does move off the ramp. It does push up. No bunker. No safety bunker. Boys are being pulled. Cyclone is out. And can we get the lock-on on the Immortal? We have the tank. We have the tank. The tank has arrived. And again, there's no War Prism. There's no Prism. There's no way to dive or jump on top of the tank. ByuN is holding. ByuN is holding. Still has that drop across the map. War Prism is rallying. Second Prism is coming. herO, he's desperate for damage. Now he has built up to 2 Immortals, but we can see that ByuN fully walls. He's fully walling off. Bunkers on the way as well. Second tank has arrived. It's becoming more and more difficult for herO to break this position. But he's going for it. He's going to try it. 3 Immortals. Yeah, tank volley goes up. Boys are being pulled. Bunker goes down, but massive shots here with the sentries. Oh my god, 2 sentries go down. The Stalker goes down as well. Some brutal losses at the same time. ByuN drops into the main. 4 probe kills. The Stalker as well. There's 1 Stalker left. Battery's out of energy. There's no energy overcharge. Jesus. I saw the lock-on and I thought it was another Widowmine lock-on. Like, I was feeling PTSD for herO, but I mean, he zones away the Prism, takes out the Immortal. Heavy losses for herO. Drop into the main. 7 probe kills. Can we get 8? Can we get 9? 8. 8 probes go down. Prism is, oh, sorry, the Prism barely survived, but it's barely alive. herO, he's crazy. He's jumping back in. He's coming back. The lock-on. Oh my god. Okay, deny stim. Yeah, stim is going to be denied. Prism gets away. Lock-on was wasted on the Zealot. It was wasted on the Zealot. herO, Jesus, playing with fire right now. Going for that. I mean, he has to, right? Like, hero's desperate for damage. He's going in. Gets a tank. Doesn't lose the Immortal. Very nice control. Like, it's so risky playing with a low HP Prism like this, but herO, he needs to find damage. Otherwise, he's just dead. Like, otherwise, he's just too far gone. Dropping into the mineral line. Gets 1 SCV. Delays the eBay. Killed a tank earlier. Keeping ByuN busy. Getting a 3rd base. Dark Shrine. It went behind. Dark Shrine. Let's go. We're going for DTs. They have potential. They have potential. See, hero's looking for another tank. He's looking for a tank. Does not find one. Looking for more warp-ins. Charge is almost done. Oh. Here we're gonna calm down. Oh, can you get it? One more shot. Oh my god, barely not. He wants it. He chases. The chase takes down the prism. Oh my, ByuN, calm down, puppy, calm down. He chases down the prism. The cyclone survives as well. And once again, here he cannot reinforce. He cannot threaten the main. He cannot drop. No more kills. And here it turns around. So you can see he turns back around. Did at least save the immortal. ByuN be dropping. And again, ideally that prism was supposed to contain ByuN. Not anymore. Not anymore. Does boost across. Thankfully, here it does have some spotted pylons. He will spot the drop. He can react. You can get ready. Here he does have a third base. He's slowly building up as well, building up his economy. But it's been a very shaky game for herO, and he will... Oh, barely lose that sentry. Oh, he wants it. He gets it. ByuN. Oh my god. He's vicious today, back. Chasing down the prism. Chasing down the sentry as well. You know what this is? This is ByuN post, this is post GSL-CK ByuN. For those that maybe missed it, I do highly recommend watching GSL-CK, but if you remember, it was last weekend. Last weekend, ByuN, he played against Zaun, and ByuN lost that game. He lost that game, he lost the series versus Zaun, and we had an interview with ByuN afterwards. And ByuN, he was like, and what happened in that game was that ByuN dropped to kill the Nexus. It was the fourth, I want to say. It was the fourth base for Zaun. It was pretty important. It was on Attorney's Edge. It was a really game deciding moment in that game. And ByuN, he picked up the drop when the Nexus was like on 2 HP. Like the Nexus was literally one shot away from going down, and ByuN picked up like 1 second too soon. He then couldn't drop as reinforcements arrived. The base survived, and then Zaun just outscaled ByuN. There's no out of control. And in that interview, ByuN, he did say that that was the moment that he lost, that lost him the game. He was like, "Yo, I played like a bronze." Like he's like, I know what I was doing. Like I was not locked in. Now he's making up for it. He's making up for it. No. Making up for last week versus Zaun. Never again play like a bronze. Meanwhile, this is ET hidden here, by the way. That template hidden behind the mineral line. Ooh, GT's run into the army. Prism into the main. Zealot drop into the main base as well as ByuN moves out. Uh-oh. Yeah, ByuN moves out. herO moves in. Going for the add-ons, and he will snipe the reactor at least. Oh. Reactor goes down, but we abandon the Zealots. We have to. DT going for the eBay. Zealots into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Yeah, getting 3, getting up to 4 SCVs at the same time. No, he goes back in. Oh my god. F2? Hard to say, but the prism goes back in. Prism goes down. That's what, the third war prism? herO. Por favor. The prism goes back in. And with that, herO, he's committing with his main army. He cannot harass across the map. He cannot deflect or distract the main army of ByuN. That's the real threat of the war prism. Even if the prism doesn't get into the base, but if the prism is still out there just threatening, it does force supply to stay in the main. But now ByuN doesn't have to worry about that. Doesn't have to be concerned about keeping supply back. Setting up his third base. 4CC is building up. Jesus, we have a minefield here outside of the natural. Now, this move I get spotted. The Zealot does spot the main move out, and herO is going for the base trade. Yeah, he's going for the base trade, going for the backstab. And how good are these mine shots going to be? Oh no. ByuN does scout bottom right. He will target that base. Well, we're tempted, but we get spotted. What's the plan? herO sees the army. He goes. Yeah, here's going for it. Now, thankfully, herO splits up these Zealots, so they're going to be able to bait out some of the mine shots. Oh, a couple of them do still connect. Zealots move in. Every Zealot goes down, running into a siege line. There's 3 tanks behind this in the minefield. ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN, he holds on. At the same time, he shuts down both Zealot run-bys, catching up the main army, forcing the recall. Now, ByuN did turn back around, but he shuts it down. He shuts down the army, and now you can see that supply difference. You can see that supply deficits for herO. This is throughout the course of the entire game, losing workers, losing war prisms, losing immortals, losing zealots. hero's bleeding out too much, bleeding out far too much, and ByuN is maxed. ByuN is maxed out. He's snowballing out of control, pushing towards the 5th. And the 4th at the same time, gets into the mineral line, bases are falling, that's a kill, not a cancel. 12 probes. 12 rope kills. And honestly, ByuN could just keep going. I feel like he could just keep pushing here. There are disruptors back at home, though. Okay. We got some neighbors. This is the one chance for herO. The one chance he has are these purification novas. There's a world where if he can connect and buy time with these novas, he can slowly catch up in supply. But this is it. Like that's it's make or break here for these disruptors. Speaking of, disruptors are moving in. First nova. That splits. Oh my god. The splits are good. Yeah, the splits are good. 1, 2, 3 disruptors go down, and there's 1 disruptor left. 1 purification nova remaining. Nova goes off, the zone's away, but only 1 nova connected, and with that, every disruptor goes down, and ByuN, he stims, and he wins. And he wins. Pushing into the natural, there's nothing here. And with that, ByuN, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. Oh my god. After a very chaotic game, and we can see herO trying to come in from behind. Trying to at least. I feel like ByuN could have taken that fight, but for now, just playing it safe, jumping back in. Nice EMP. Takes down the Archon, drops back into the main. Picking up all those Zealots ahead of time. Likewise, nice target firing here on the Immortal as well. And snipes the Robo. Yeah, Robo goes down, limited disruptor production. herO just getting torn apart. Nice snipe on the disruptor. We're down to a handful of stalkers, baby. GG gets called, and ByuN will take that 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We'll take that 2-0 lead here again. We did see some hyper aggression by herO, but it was just a very rough beginning, very rough start to that game. Remember, winding all the way back, it was a robo opener, which is very abnormal, which is very aggressive, very dedicated build there from herO, going for the robo opener. Went robo first into warp prism, and that prism died immediately. The prism wandered into the main base, mine shot went off, killed the prism. That took away any teeth, any of the momentum that herO had in that game. And it was just very shaky from there. We saw that as a result, he was struggling to be, I mean, the build was supposed to be aggressive. He couldn't be aggressive. He still tried to go up the ramp, losing Immortals, losing Zealots. We saw the counter drop play. herO kept losing his prisms. He lost like 3 or 4 prisms throughout that course of that game. Tried to go for DTs to recover. They didn't quite get much damage done either. It was just a very rocky start from herO, and that just had, of course, greater effects coming into a longer mid to late game with a deterred economy, with a delayed 3rd, delayed 4th base, lost high-tech units, late tech, late production. Like, it all just came into play there. And with that, we're now getting into Game 3. We're loading into Game 3 and spawning in the bottom-hand corner of Fear and Faith. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into the next game, as we're getting into game number 3, and again, ByuN is on match point, but welcome to Fear and or Faith. This is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top right, top left, bottom right, and bottom left as well. 4 possible spawn locations, and we happen to roll the dice and land on cross spawns. Diagonal spawns here, so a massive map, long rush distance by ground. If we had horizontal or vertical spawns, that would have been close spawns, then we can be more aggressive. Then we can be more aggressive, more active, but based on these spawn locations, I typically want to favor Protoss as herO. Oh, wow, ByuN tricked him. Look at this. ByuN, he hit his depot here on the left hand side, and he went for the CC first. Hyper greed out of ByuN, but because he didn't set up the wall, herO doesn't know. He missed it. He missed the scout. He's crazy. ByuN. Oh my god. Cheeky moves out of ByuN. If you remember, ByuN used to do this on Mothership. So on Mothership, which is another 3-player small map instead, he used to do this where he would throw down his depot and racks further back so that if the worker scout doesn't go in, then you don't see. You don't see what's going on. So herO doesn't know. He's still looking, papi. He's still looking. He has seen nothing. He believes that ByuN is top left. I'm getting ready for the question mark. I'm getting ready. ByuN. I see in the chat, did you cast RSL? We co-stream the RSL playoffs. We don't co-stream the group stage. So I believe this weekend the group stage should begin. We won't be getting into RSL until the playoffs. And of course we cast the qualifiers as well. But here we go. Here we go as herO, he does move out. Again, herO, he's looking. And he... I'm ready for the question mark. I'm ready. He's gonna check top left. Still looking for his opponent. ByuN, meanwhile, again, got away with CC first. Hyper greed. Hyper greed. Zero moves in. It's like, what? So what's happening? Where did he Gangnam? Did he lift his CC? Is he in the middle of the map? What's going on? As now I have to move out with the initial adept. ByuN is moving out through the center, and now ByuN, hero's moving out through the center, and he knows that he has to be here because this is the only location where he didn't check the actual location itself. This is where if the biggest brain is again to lift and just Gangnam elsewhere, that would have been crazy. But now he sees, now he knows. Does wander into the main. There's only one Marine to defend, bearing in mind that, remember, ByuN was hyper greedy this game. He was very, very greedy. He's down to one Marine, and this single adept is doing a lot of damage. It doesn't kill much, but does nice mining. Does nice mining time. And that first adept is soon to be joined by the Stalker. So Stalker is coming, adept is coming as well. So far, ByuN has done a great job at minimizing losses, but he will still lose one. Oh my god. Dove into the gas geyser. Gets one. One Marine goes down. Does lose a singular SCV. ByuN, the micro, the SCV control. ByuN, calm down. Calm down, baby. Ay, ay, ay. He's buying time for the Hellion, buying time for the Marine. It's still very shaky, and again, this is the downside of not having a wall, right? Typically, you'd have a depot and a Rax, and you wouldn't really be able to push in, but without having the wall here, you are open. You're open, you're more vulnerable. So it's a double-edged sword, and herO, it's time to Darkshine. Let's go. It's time, pappy. Here comes the proxy. And remember, this hits even faster because you don't need a gateway. We have fast warp-ins. We have fast warp-ins now. SCV scout. SCV did go all the way around the edge of the map, by the way. Went all the way around. He sees! No shot! The SCV scout confirms the Dark Shrine. And ByuN, he went through the monorail system. He went through the tubes. He sees everything. He knows. And he should hold on to a scan. He should hold on. Cyclone has arrived. Zones away the Stalkers. herO, now he knows he's been scouted. Did herO cancel? He did. Yeah, herO forced to cancel Dark Shrine. It was almost done. It was almost done as well. Forced to cancel. At least he's forcing on a Raven, but I mean, you want a Raven anyway to harass in TVP. It's not uncommon. Whew. And with that, herO forced to expand. Yeah, claiming his third base. It's already just been a very chaotic game. It's been very chaotic. It's been crazy. I'm still shocked that ByuN didn't lose a single SCV in the main. That's the craziest part. Oh, Zell tanks a lock on. Yeah, nice tank. Zell goes down. Ooh, medevac as well. The target firing at a hero. He locks down the Cyclone. Yeah, he locks down the Cyclone, but he does lose 2 Stalkers as a result. So a little bit messy, a little bit shaky. As here he snipes the medevac and the Cyclone, he will lose 3 Stalkers, but he's still warping in. He's still reinforcing. Again, the fast warpings are crazy, which means he can be more aggressive. He's moving in. But the tank. Wow, the tank has arrived just in time. Blink is not yet done. ByuN is holding. He's holding, he's defending. He can always throw down an auto turret as well. Throw down that turret. And ByuN holds. Whew, okay, ByuN does hold on. hero's getting his third up and running. Behind this, we have the Bay on the way, so it's going to be Blink Stalkers +1 into what should be Colossus. We did see Disruptors last game, but that was only because herO was desperate. Like, he was desperate for damage and desperate for something to go his way, so he was heavily reliant on some RNG. Or just on taking some risks. This time it should be Colossus. Likewise, extra gates on the way. And we spoke about this earlier. We didn't really get to delve too far into that point, but welcome to Fear and Faith, and because we have long spawns, this usually favors Protoss. If you are aware of the meta of TVP, you would know that very often Protoss players, especially on larger maps, it's very common to take over the map, to take every expansion that you can find, to have the boosted economy, to keep warping in Zealots, and to contain the Terran player on a low base count. So that is why typically larger maps do favor Protoss, smaller maps typically favor Terran, because on smaller maps, Terran players can be more aggressive. Right, they can be more aggressive, they can go for these big all-ins, or they can keep up the momentum and keep up the pressure, as the map does help them just be in the face of the Protoss. So this is where I'm concerned for ByuN, as ByuN is getting a third CC, and again, it's been a decent start from ByuN, don't get me wrong, but the idea of ByuN punishing the third, or punishing the 4th base, or being active in any way, it's very low, right? There's a very, very low chance, so herO can freely probe up, and the bases should be left alone. So we're getting into a very comfortable game state for the Protoss. For the first time this series, right? For the first time this series, herO can get comfortable. Oh, Sims in! Late reaction. Yeah, late reaction from herO, losing 1 Stalker, losing 1.5. She can use that to ByuN. He does get, oh, almost 2. Gasito. Nice save. But again, ByuN, he needs to be active. He needs to try at least. He needs to try to be active and try to force out a response and force out some warp-ins. Auto harass into the bases. We'll get 3 probes. We'll scout the Colossus. Oh. There's a Raven to get across. The other difficult thing here as well, it isn't just that the map is very large, but also the 3rd and 4th base are very spread out, and this does mean that it's going to be difficult for the Terran player to maintain a 4-base setup. 4 bases are going to be difficult for the Terran. They're easy for the Protoss, not because they want to be defensive, but because they have map control. Right? So it's a little bit different. Where herO has map control, and that's protecting his bases, as is keeping ByuN pinned. Warp Prism does distract. And ByuN does sneak out, true. Did mention that it is imperative that ByuN does something to herO. So he's going for the double drop at the same time herO moves in. Tries to move in. Colossus getting a couple of swipes in. Couple of swipes. Oh, nice split out of herO. Picking up more Marines. Good value. And here he just warped in. Ooh, it's a big warp in. Is there a recall back home? Do we have a defensive warp in? We have 3 Stalkers. There's a recall. Yeah, there's that recall, alleviating some pressure, allowing ByuN to expand. Ideally, ByuN wanted some damage, but forcing a recall, it helps. It does help a little bit here. But again, this is just a very open 3rd and an open 4th base. It's just very open. It's just very, very open. herO, he has so much room to just collapse in with his mass zealots. Speaking of, yeah, more reinforcements coming in. Typically, what a Terran player wants to establish a 3rd and 4th base in TVP is SimCity. Like, they want choke points. They want choke points, but there's no choke points here. There's nothing choked up. It's all open. Sensor tower barely will go down. It does fall. And ByuN trying to be active. herO looking for the drop. He's searching. So he moves in. We do have a couple of ghosts, a couple of Vikings. There's 1 EMP. So 1 EMP. Now we have 2 more robos. Triple robo production on the way. herO getting a 5th base, by the way. He's getting a 5th expansion. Meanwhile, ByuN is fighting for his 3rd. He's fighting for his 3rd base. Now, ByuN has retained his army, so he's built up. We're both max, more or less. But the issue here is that ByuN is fighting for his 3rd. Meanwhile, herO, he doesn't need to break the 3rd base. All he has to do is just contain ByuN on 3. If ByuN ever tries to get a 4th base, then herO should be there to stop it, to punish it. And herO is content to build up a bank. Build up a bank, work on 3/3 upgrades. Throw down more pylons, more expansions. Secure that map control. Here moves in. Trading out the Zealots. Trading out Zealots. Never does connect. Ooh, Vikings overextend. Losing 1, 2 Vikings. I believe to get a Colossus. I believe. Yeah, go 1. 1 Colossus goes down. Oh, we do see ByuN. He tried to surround. He got surrounded though. Yeah, the sandwich got sandwiched. ByuN gets caught out. Has to pull away. Cheeky moves attempted there out of ByuN. Didn't quite collapse in. And again, just still more warp-ins. We've spoken about this before, but this dynamic here in TVP has not changed from patch to patch. There were some people that were like, oh, because of the warp gate change, like maybe it's like too expensive to get into this. No, not at all. It's still the case. Meanwhile, the Colossus does go down. Nice snipe. Disruptors. Uh-oh. Yeah, here he was too trigger happy. He will lose all the disruptors. Zealots, they collapse in. They trade well. Yeah, we're trading here against Marauder, so efficient trades from herO. Marauder's going down, Ghost going down as well. Nice mind connections, very nice mind connections, but he even gets a tank. Yeah, tank goes down, and herO should back off. herO just has to back off. And now we can reinforce. And remember, we have fast warp ins. Oh, actually warps into the main. Prism goes down, warps into the main base. herO does have a bank. There we go. I was like, where are the Zealots warping in? How many gates do we have? Only 8. Oh. Yeah, so hero's on a low gateway count. There we go. He just realized. But Zealots, they trade well. They get on top of the tank. Tank goes down. Stalkers, they move in. Focus down the medevacs. Gets into the mineral line. And again, hero's looking to make a series out of this. Now, here he cannot kill. He's going to have to back off. But he throws down 5 more gates. These gates are late, to be fair. They're late gateways. This did slip herO's mind, and this is slowing herO down because he's on a very low gateway count. But GG gets called anyway, and herO does put a point on the board, taking down ByuN on Fear and Faith. GG. GG, well played. It does fight back. But again, the RNG did work in favor here. We did try to emphasize that specifically diagonal spawns on Fear and Faith heavily favors Protoss. It is so difficult for the Terran player to be active, to be aggressive, to go for drop play, to hinder or threaten the economy. It's very difficult. So, bam, with that, herO gains map control, mass expands. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And now we go from one of the larger maps in the map pool to one of the smaller maps. We're going to be loading into Blackrock. Interesting. So Blackrock is a very dynamic map. Blackrock has some similar features to Fear and Faith in regards to the 3rd and 4th base. You saw how open that 3rd and 4th base is on Fear and Faith. It is so difficult to defend on that map because of that. Similar on Blackrock. Blackrock has a very open 3rd and a very open 4th base. But as opposed to Fear and Faith, Blackrock has a bunch of choke points throughout the center of the map. Not close to the bases, but a little bit further out. There's a bunch of choke points, there's a bunch of terrain that can be utilized in different ways. And likewise, of course, shorter rush distance by ground as well. So has its own unique features. We'll get into it. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackrock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss fighting back in the series. Can we force the ace match? Can we go all the way to game 5? Pressure still on. Representing T1, it is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself, the South Korean Terran. For Shopify, it is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go as herO begins with a proxy. Let's go. I see in the chat, the Gamma Ghost, this is live, yes? Yes, this is live. If we ever do like a replay cast, it is in the title of the stream. So as you can see, there's no quote-unquote replay cast in the title of the stream, so it's a live event. And we're here in the finals. We're here in the grand finals. Oh, Spider-Man meme it up as we are going for a proxy versus a proxy. We're about to get rowdy here. We're about to get rowdy. So, a couple of things. Because we're both proxying, there's no defensive units back at home, right? There's no units to defend. So things get very chaotic very quickly. We'll see who hits first, and we'll see what hits first. Is this Proxy Reaper or Proxy Marauder from ByuN? That's what I'm curious by. Does have 1 gas back at home, so we'll see if he goes to the tech lab or not. We'll see what he gets into. Likewise, it should just be Proxy Zealots into Cybercore, into a second Zealot, into a Stalker, I would imagine. We saw this build out of herO versus Percival in the semifinals. So assume Zealots, but this time we're rallying. Yeah, we're not banking. So this time we're just rallying. Oh, he scouted. Oh, right, of course, he scouted. herO knows. Yeah, here he went for the probe scout, so he sees that there's no racks back at home, so that's why he's just rallying directly into the base. At the same time, Proxy Reaper is going to hit a little bit faster, and ByuN has to make sure he does not get surrounded. He has to make sure he doesn't get surrounded. Technically, the Reaper can race home to defend, but it'll be a very delayed defense. It comes down to the micro, but I think I might favor herO. I mean, we'll see. It is ByuN. He's known for his Reaper control. Zelda's revealed. Boys are being pulled. herO has to make sure it doesn't get surrounded. No! Oh my god! herO, be careful. herO, be careful. Yeah, as ByuN comes in with the surround, and he looks down the Zealot. He tries to release. Zealot does barely get away. Trading as best he can and getting 1, 2, 3 SCVs. 3 SCVs go down, but does surround the first Zealot. At the same time, Reaper gets in. No, he gets surrounded! ByuN gets surrounded. GG gets called, and herO ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we could have had a crazy game there, crazy back and forth. if that Reaper hadn't been surrounded, that should not have happened. We saw that herO fought hard to squeeze the most he could out of his Zealot. Meanwhile, ByuN was not paying attention. ByuN was distracted, and ByuN did get surrounded. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into the ace match. We're going to game 5. Here we go. Known for his... True. Cut me off, Pappy. Cut me off. I mean, he's known for his Reaper micro when he's paying attention. I should... that's the caveat there. He's got to be paying attention. No. As we're getting into the ace match. Looks like we do have a bit of a lobby bug, so un momento. We'll very quickly restart before we jump into game number 5. Here we go. Just catching up with the chat. As we are going to be getting ready. So players just restarting before we jump into the final game. Yes, the caster curse. That Reaper dying is really not recoverable? No, not at all. Just because remember, your opponent has continued Zealot production, so they're gonna find even more damage. For you to be that far behind when it comes to counter damage and counter micro is brutal. That'd be brutal. You can't afford these mistakes. Not at this level of play. Well, let's go. Let us go, as we're going to be loading into the Old Sun Temple for game number 5. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. He was down 2-0, by the way. he was down and out in this series when he scored his way back into the ace match. Momentum is on his side, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Shopify. He was up 2-0, but it has been slipping away. Can he get a handle on the series? Can he bring it back? It is ByuN. And welcome to the Old Sun Temple, a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom right, top left, and bottom left. Now, you saw that ByuN, of the players, they rolled the dice, and they did roll in favor of herO on Fear and Faith. We spoke about it earlier, but on Fear and Faith, we did have diagonal spawns, and that favors the Protoss. Here, the dice are rolled, and we have close spawns, horizontal spawns instead. This favors Terran. Short rush distance by ground, aggression is favored. I say favors Terran, it favors aggression. So aggression is going to be favored here once we find each other. This time, ByuN does fully wall off on the ramp. We saw that on Fear and Faith, he was being cheeky and he was hiding his production and pulling further back. Looks like he will do that only once in this series. This time, he will get his SimCity up and running and wall off that ramp instead. Now, when I say this map favors aggression, I'm going to have to whip out the ruler. Like, I still haven't... I need to get around to it. I keep saying I will. I need to compare, and maybe chat can help with this, rush distance by ground, horizontal spawns, compared to every other map. Basically, compared to Rainfall and compared to Rorschach. I think these close spawns is the shortest rush distance in the entire map pool, specifically. Like, especially if you expand towards each other. We've been in positions where this player takes the third base here, and then you have the opposing player take this third, and we're touching tips. We're just right next to each other, and then you just take one fight. Whoever wins just wins the game. hero's crazy, by the way. Before we get into the mid game, he proxies in the center. herO doesn't know where ByuN is, by the way. He doesn't see the Marine. But here, he does not know where ByuN is. He does proxy here, bottom right. ByuN could be top left for all he knows. Proxy Stargate. He sees. Wow, he does spot the Marine, but the Marine could be coming in from the top side. Yeah, it could be coming in. Marine just saw the probe. They did see each other. herO checking top right. And ByuN, he's scouting nearby.
Add-on complete.
but ByuN doesn't go up the ramp. Yeah, it does not go up. Now, Proxy Stargate is not an all-in. I should emphasize that. It's not as aggressive as the Proxy Gateway, but this is a way to get ahead early on because this is Proxy Oracle. Proxy Oracle, and if the Oracle gets in, the Oracle can wreak havoc in the mineral line and cripple the Terran. So this can do game-ending damage. The depth has arrived. Bunker's not yet done. Nice control out of ByuN. He does pull away the Marine. And pulls away the weakened Marines. Oh! The probe! What? The probe gets a kill! The probe kills the Marine. The depth shades into the mineral line. SCVs are under threat. Yeah, denying more mining time. Distracting the Marines. Oracle's on the way. Yeah, the Oracle's on the way, and ByuN, he is going reactor Marine here. More SCVs going down, chaos ensues, the Oracle's coming, and we can just focus on the Marines. Wow, we can focus on the bio, focus on the Marines. With every Marine going down, there's no anti-air. 4 Marines left, down to 3. Down to 2, down to 1. 1 Marine. Does get a full round of the Adepts. 1 Marine remaining. Who comes out on top? The Oracle. The Oracle comes out on top, and this is too much. 6, 7 SCVs. 6 SCVs going down. The Oracle's out of energy, but critical damage is being dealt. Losing how much? 6 Marines and 6 SCVs. And the Oracle survives. The Oracle gets away. Yeah, it does get away. Remember, this was a single gas opener, so racks expand, delayed factory, delayed cyclone, a second Oracle comes in, and this might just be it. This might just be too much. Takes down 1 Marine, goes for more SCVs. Oh, a bit of miscontrol there. Did miss that shot. Heads to the low ground, denies more mining. Delaying ByuN, and ByuN is going for a second Rax and +1. It looks like ByuN is going for a 3 Rax follow-up. It looks like 3 Rax stim out of ByuN, but we'll see if he can even get there. Again, he's just beating out so many Marines. Speaking of, oh. And we just get a full scout as well. Yeah, the Oracle goes in, sees the second Rax, losing more SCVs. 2 more SCVs going down, 3 more SCVs even, 4, oh god. The micro, the stuttering. And back at home here is just chilling. Now, because here just scattered what's going on, he's going for the Robo response. We can go for the Robo into the Bay into fast Colossus. Remember, he only has to worry about a bio all-in as we're throwing down another Rax. As we mentioned, 3 Rax stim out of ByuN, but heavily delayed. At this point, I mean, there aren't really many ways for ByuN to go. We might just see a 4th Rax. You just go for like a 4 Rax all-in, and you pull the boys with this as well, and just go for 2 Ace all-in instead. There's a world where maybe that works, but the issue here is because the Oracle opener, Hero sees everything. If we did throw down another Rax, if we threw down anything, it's going to be a factory, by the way, Hero can rescout. He can, and he most likely will. As we still have both Oracles, they make their way in. Catching out 1, catching out just 1 Marine. Jesus. Yep. Comes over the scout, confirming the factory, confirms there is no 4th Rax. So there's no 4 Rax 2 base all in. The factory confirms further attack. Tells Hero that he's a little bit safer to macro up. As it's now going to be a later timing, a later push. Even delays the factory. Oh, I guess. Delays the factory. Hero back into the main. He wants the SCV. Going for the Aces. Is denied. Oh. Nice catch. 1 Oracle finally goes down. But we spoke about it. Robo into what? Robo into Bay into Colossus. So fast Colossus here by Hero. This shuts down any kind of stim timing. By the time stim finishes, there's going to be at least 1 Colossus. So the Colossus will be out in time. And all you need is 1 Colossus to shut down a bio push. Especially this early on. With this few Marines. Stasis traps. They don't really get much done here, but this is still good damage, right? In a situation where the Terran player has such a low economy and has been struggling so much, losing mining time here is brutal. Every little bit, it does hurt. Speaking of, losing another 2? 1 SCV. We'll lose 1 more SCV. back at home. Now, the one critique that I do have for herO is that herO could have gotten a faster third. When herO saw the factory on the way, I feel like that's the moment where you can take a third Nexus. So herO's third base is late, so herO's growth is going to be delayed. His tech is still good. His tech is still very nice, but his third base is going to be later than what it could have been. That may come into play. Like you can see here, the third CC for ByuN is on par with the third base for herO. But it may not matter. That is the thing. That will impact the mid game. But herO does push forward. With the help of the Immortal, he breaks through the bunker. Oof. Yeah, bunker goes down. ByuN steps in. The stasis. No! Heal Z! Oh my god, stasis goes off, which means herO can just stand and fight. He can stand and fight. Takes out more Marines. Does reinforce. Now we can just camp this army. Ay, ay, ay. The MVP Oracles, they've done so much this game. Now there's a second Colossus. Oh no. Oh, army sims in. Transcend forward. Colossi, they bully the ByuN army. More warp-ins, more reinforcements. And ByuN just cannot move out, not like this. Oof. Yeah, the lasers, pappy. They cannot be stopped. Nor does they sim in. It does try to go for the dive. Hold damage on the Colossus. Oh, brutal Revelation. Yeah, Revelation on the army. Shuts down the mines within range of the gas. More SCVs going down. More reinforcements on the way. And again, it was an intense back and forth here, but here he's snowballing out of control. ByuN going for one final stim. Does pull the boys. This is it. It's all he has. Takes down all the Oracles finally, but GG gets called. A third Colossus arrives, and herO will claim the series 3-2. herO, he's still in the game. herO, he was still in the game. GG gets called, and herO, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO with the reverse sweep, pappy. So he was so intense that he even stayed in the game after ByuN left just to kill more units. Just to herO, calm down, pappy, calm down. GG, well played. Again, ByuN was up 2-0, but these were really aggressive games as well. Very, very aggressive games. We had a lot of proxies from both players. A lot of proxies, a lot of cheese, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of aggression. We did see some macro play, if you remember, on Fear and Faith, but that was one of the more extreme versions of that, where the Protoss player is very comfortable and left alone. From there, though, it was still a very dynamic back and forth, and in the end, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO for bringing it back. GG. And a shout out to ByuN for putting on a show, right? Like, ByuN may have gone down, but I can see a world where he wins this series. I can see a world where ByuN doesn't lose the Reaper. Like, I can see a world where maybe that game continues, and maybe ByuN wins that game as well. Like, it's hard to say how that would have unfolded. But there's that, of course. There's the likewise, like, the quote-unquote RNG nature of some of the spawn locations when it comes to Fear and Faith and Old Sun Temple as well. Remember, for Old Sun Temple, for this final game, we spoke about how this map favors aggression based on those spawn locations, and here was hyper aggressive, going for the proxy, which did not get scouted, and just rallying everything across the map. He just did not let ByuN breathe at all in that final game. ByuN just couldn't breathe. He was punished for his greed as well. But GG. GG. Catching up in the chat. Was this a map where they were saying no vertical spawns? I think so. I haven't fully confirmed it myself, but I believe specifically Old Sun Temple does limit some of the spawn locations. Fear and Faith and Exarch, they don't limit anything. But I think Old Sun Temple does limit spawns. herO have no third and less workers, ByuN is okay. If herO was passive in that game, if herO didn't push, then ByuN could potentially recover, for sure. That's why we were emphasizing that herO had a very late third, but the advantage that herO had was his tech and was the Colossus, and herO was asserting himself, right? Like he was using that higher tech, that higher tier army, thankfully, right? Because you're correct. We kind of alluded to it, but yes, if herO was trying to play more defensive or safer or more quote-unquote macro-oriented, if he backed off and just expanded and just left ByuN alone, then ByuN could have had a chance there, but here he asserted himself. GG, well played. And with that, again, congratulations to herO, and hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here tonight. Again, hope you enjoyed the Sparkling Tuna Cup. This is a weekly open tournament. I say weekly, we did miss last week. For those that are curious, usually Tuna Cup is on the weekend. It's on Sunday. It's the first open cup of the week before the Woody TV Monday and before the Monday Night Weeklies. It's on Sundays. But the downside of this event being on a weekend is that sometimes there's Home Story Cup. Sometimes there's GSL finals or RSL, or sometimes it's like a big offline event that's going on, and that usually means we have to reschedule or skip a week. So just as a heads up, because last week was Home Story Cup, that's why there was no Tuna Cup, because a lot of the Europeans were traveling, of course, for Home Story Cup, and it was also going to be clashing with our broadcast. So usually if there's like a big event like Home Story Cup or BlizzCon or ByuN Cup, for example, which was like 2-3 weeks ago, RSL finals, that's when usually we reschedule Tuna Cup to a weekday. Usually we reschedule to Tuesday, or if there's like a full week event going on, then we typically push it back a week. So just as a heads up, that's why sometimes there's no Tuna Cup over the weekend, because usually there's other StarCraft events going on. But otherwise, again, we do have our weekly tournament. It's the longest running weekly event out there, longer running than Woody TV Mondays or Korean StarCraft League, KSL, longer running than Monday Night Weeklies or Pegasus Cups, longest running Open Cup out there. I say Open Cup because technically the Japanese weeklies have been running a lot longer than us, but they're specifically for Japan. We have our Open Cups been running since 2021, I want to say. It's been a long time, been a very, very long time. So if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund this very tournament on a regular basis. It's all funded via Patreon. You can actually see under herO's name down there, you can see our current donation goal, but you can also see our current Patreon goal as well. You can see here how much we earn per month via Patreon, and that all goes towards our tournaments. It goes towards this tournament, the weekly, and it also goes towards some monthly amateur tournaments as well. We run 3 tournaments on a regular basis, and you can actually see them here. Oh, that was the raffle. That was La Rifa. Bam. But there you go. As you can see, on my left, we have the Sparkling Tuna Cup in the center. We have Sea Duckling Open and Master Swan Open as well. Those are the 3 tournaments that we do run, 1 weekly and 2 monthly events as well, all funded via Patreon. So big shout out to all our patrons. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. You can help us grow our tournaments via Patreon. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the day. When it comes to the rest of the week's schedule, un momento. Bam. As you can see, on my left, we just wrapped up with our Sunday cast. You can see Tuna Cup on its own on Sunday, and we will be live on Monday with OSC. That's going to be in around 11 hours, in around like 10-ish hours time. I'm going to be live with the OSC Elite Rising Star Tournament. That is a seasonal event for up-and-coming players. Basically, it's restricted depending on placements in tournaments. So players that have achieved 2 high placements in events, they cannot compete. It's for the up-and-coming like semi-pros. So think of players like Jumi, think of players like GG Machine, like Shameless, for example. Some of the players that played in this very tournament, actually. Some of the younger up-and-coming talent out there. Think of players like Hon Mono. So you can see earlier in the bracket, like Mono, Shameless, players of that nature, Perceive, for example. These guys, 3 Point, they compete in Rising Star. Meanwhile, Jumi. Meanwhile, likewise, we also have GSLCK. GSLCK day number 2 is going to be tomorrow evening, so you can see our schedule's full. We have GSLCK Tuesday morning, we have Woody TV Monday, Pegasus Cup, the Pondcast, Kung Fu Cup, Crank Gatherers. That's a StarCraft Evolution Team League that's currently going on. We have MSO on Saturday, and then once again, Tuna Cup on Sunday. So this is our weekly schedule here. As you can see, 2 casts a day, almost every day. So we're trying to ease back a little bit. Back in 2025 and 2024 and 2023, we would typically cast twice a day every single day, but this year we're cutting back. So instead of 14 casts, we have what, 11? We have let's go 11 casts a week. Let's go, baby, let's go. So we're cutting back a little bit here so we can get some rest and we can recuperate a little bit more. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the sport, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys tomorrow for either OSC or GSLCK. We'll see for one of the 2. As we are also the official English casters for GSLCK, and our VODs are uploaded to the Soup channel on YouTube for GSL. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, stick around. We'll be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who's live at the moment? Who's live? Who can we raid? Who can we send everyone over to? Like usually there's like a Rotterdam stream or like a Hearthstone or a Lambo. I don't think there's anyone live today though. Yo, where's everyone? What's going on? I see Strange is live, Middle VK is live. But yeah, a lot of the Europeans that are usually live at the moment they're all in bed. It's too early for them. It's like 2 p.m. Yeah, it's too early. They're all we'll find someone to raid. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, ciao. See you next time.